All right, good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is the first week of the fall session, and we're going to watch some B2 action. It's Lucas Nathaniel. How's it going, Lucas?
Hey, doing great this evening. Ready to get into my first commentary of the new season?
Yeah, this is our first Mahjong games of the season, and it will be Blake, Kayla, Kevin, and Andrew. Should be an interesting matchup here. Of course, Blake has been in B2 last season. Kayla as well. Both players were very close to promoting in the final session of the season, but fell a little bit short and maintained their position instead. We also had Kevin promoting into this division, and will be very interesting to see how he plays here. Of course, it's always nerve-wracking, I'm sure, for the other players when you've got a 7 down across the table from you.
Yeah, we have a couple of these Ho players trying to climb their way up through the different divisions. Just throwing a curveball at some players, but looks like we are underway here. And it is going to be Kevin as the first dealer here. See what he can do. It's a pretty good high pie. You got the Yaku high, you have the Dora 8 mon, which doesn't connect to anything right now, but let's see if he calls. Yeah, it's gonna call. On the right, pretty good shapes. Could maybe be Tanyo as well. You do have like 4 pairs for Chitoy as well. Kind of depends on what you draw, where that hand goes. Toyman also has a Yaku high chance. Skip the 7-pin, didn't want to like Otozuki a call. That didn't make a lot of sense, but then drew it themselves, which is nice. Could also maybe even be like a Chanta. On the left, yeah, pretty good shapes, and also could maybe shift into a Tanya, although right now it looks like 1-pin's the most likely pair.
Yeah, unfortunately
Nice
for
Kanchan fill.
that is sweet. And unfortunately for Kevin, the 8 mon hasn't really been drawn around, and you have all the blocks for completed hand elsewhere. So seems kind of likely that this 8-mon will eventually leave the hand for Hatsu only. In fact, we can call into Tenpai here. And that will be the play for
Yeah,
Kevin.
it's not that big a deal because the difference from like 1 Han to 2 Han, even as dealer, isn't all that significant. I think just going to be happy to have the early ram in weight here as Kevin.
And in terms of the 6-9, so it's very live in the wall. There are 5 total tiles remaining, the majority being the 9, so which is something you'd expect to see come out more easily than the 6, so.
Each.
All right, well, we also have a Tempai on the left here. This is
Oh!
a nice summon Chan. Ooh, 9 money Patsu
Boom.
drawn, and it's going to immediately come out. I'm just going to push the Ryamen. Wait, pretty easy push there, 9 money. You are a tiny bit scared that it's next to Dora, but yeah, that's going to be a full 8,000 point deal in there.
Great start for Kayla in this one, hitting the Ipatsu and the Ura, getting the full Mongon value. Unfortunate break there for Kevin, but plenty of time to recover, for sure.
Yeah, now we go on to Andrew's dealership, who again
Boom.
has a Yakuza pair and is going to be called. Could sometimes become Honitsu, but you do have the Dora 8 so as well, though. Gonna see what the draws look like. See how... Okay, yeah, just gonna throw the 5-pin back. I think keeping 1 mon is a sign that maybe he's thinking about a possible Honitsu shift.
Yes, I'm wondering which Mon draws in particular will convince him to cut the 8 so and then the 5 so pair even, and just go all the way for Honitsu. Be something like a 6 Mon is just Ishanten, so I'm not 100% sure.
Kevin's got a headless Ishan 10 right now. You don't really want 7 mon reaching... Okay, yeah, actually, not gonna probably drop 8-9 mon. Does not, though. It's actually going to stick with the headless here. I thought maybe that was a good chance to at least get like a Pinfu confirmed, but perhaps doesn't like the fact that the 1 mon is already once cut. So the 1-4 weight maybe thought was a little dead. This is wider. Of course, taking the headless is going to be wider. Now drops 3-pin, I suppose.
Yeah, with all 4 of the 1-pin discarded, decided this Diamond is just not as good as you'd expect, and really wants to be able to make Sanchoku and use the door as well.
Yeah, and I guess just trying to avoid a Richi Nomi, which is what it did look like the hand might have ended up with.
Kayla's also getting close to a Richi there. Would be Richi Dora 1, maybe Pinshu as well. Oh, it's Tenpai, but not
Get
for the
the 7
Pinshu.
so draw. Oh, here's the Tenpai. Which weight here?
Mm, yes. The four pin is Nakasuji trapped.
Was
Because you,
twice cut though, so
yeah,
I think it makes sense just to wait on the 6-pin here.
it's 2 in the wall versus what would have been 1 in the wall. So slightly better drawing odds for Kayla.
Gee.
And the 8 pin has come out 4 times, so you could think of that as a sort of Nakasuji as
Yeet.
well. And we're going to see the wow, ideal Dora draw for Kevin. Will chase this down. Richie Dora 1 waiting on the 7 Mon, and there's 3 of these tiles in the wall. Andrew's going to get one of them though.
It is actually there's a
Sumo.
5-mon Kabe. Well, we actually saw Tenpai on the right picked up, and that the Tanyo is actually going to shut down both the Richis there.
Blake with the chi.
Oh man, that what a crazy hand there. We're gonna have to switch over to dealer here, but that looked like a pretty interesting high pie with the Dora Onko on the left.
It's Kokushi with Dora 3.
Yeah.
It's actually only 9
'cause what is
tiles in a
this?
pair, so it's kind of close.
Yeah. It's gonna cut the 6-mon. So I might have just tried for like a normal hand just because the Dora Onko is like so strong here. And just like keep the 6-mon.
Right, a lot of times with this type of hand, you want to head your Chanta, head your Honitsu, and go with, whatever comes first. But when you have Dora 3 and 2
Yeah.
Yakuhai, that changes the picture a little bit. You already have the value, you don't need to seek it elsewhere. It looks like Andrew might be leaning towards moving that direction, holding the 1-3 and
Oh,
the force.
boy.
Oh, no, it is a Chanta force. I think it's
That's
gonna
a
get
pretty spicy hand on the left.
very exciting. I imagine a Haku draw. In the meantime, Kayla is trying to shut this down with South only on the right. Ishanten there. Could be 3 for 5 Sachoku as well, but pulls the 2-mon instead. Tempai now for 3 so 6 so. Blake Ishanten as dealer for Richie Nomi most likely, but with a good weight. A chance at a good weight. Kevin kind of saddled with this Hatsu. When does it come out, or does it come out at all? I was about to say, I fear for Blake if this Ipeco comes in hand, might see the 6-0 come out, but instead, Kevin will discard the 3-0 a second time, and Kayla will pick up the Roan.
Shuts down the Dora Onko hand. And now opens up dealer high pie with Dora 2. Does have a lot of Sozu, can maybe think about a Honitsu, but with Chun first discard, looks like just wants to try to go for like efficiency.
Yeah.
It seems like Kevin maybe had a chance to call the Chun, but decided not to with that hand. The hand didn't have another pair, so a lot of times you can think about passing if you don't have another pair. It's kind of an awkward hand to palm the Chun from.
Andrew, on the other hand, has no qualms about opening up this hand for potential double Yakuhai, and this Honitsu possible.
Yeah, see what the... Okay, yeah, so not going to fully commit to anything. It's still cutting the south here, keeping the 5-mon and then like the 1-2 so Penchon. Yeah, now with a 4-mon draw, it's probably not going to be a Honitsu here.
At least Sha Ton, Tuhan, and wouldn't really use the Adora if it's drawn. Kevin will open up.
Kevin
now
does
for
call
Tenpai.
the second Chun, and it's just going to take the Tonki Tenpai here.
3-mon has 2 left in the wall, but you'd imagine that Kevin's looking for a better weight than 3-mon here.
Yeah, you're just going to swap to almost anything.
Well, not Fuditen.
Well, not that one.
Like Dion Shanten with Pinfu shapes locked up. All Diamond weights. How about 147?
Actually skips the 3-mon. I wonder if thinking about Toy Toy, well, draws a 6-mon, so shuts that down. Now just going to choose between Ramen or Shampon. And actually chooses the Shampon, and so we'll deal in with the 4-pin there.
Fighting for a little bit more value, hoping for the East Wind to come out for 2 Han instead of 1. Does give Kevin the relatively inexpensive win. So still very close as Andrew to the 30,000 mark, and Kevin's back in the dealership in South 1.
Pretty quick East round here.
This high pie is all right for Kevin. You have the ability to accept the Dora. Oh, and now you paired up the tone, so you can open as well. Of course, the last time Kevin had a hand similar to this, it didn't go so well, but
I think he'll probably try the same approach. I imagine this is a pretty easy east call that does get offered.
on the right, what do you think are the chances that this ends up being a 1-2-3 Sanchoku?
You need to draw 2-3 mon pretty quickly, I think. Like maybe there's a few. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
there
not
just
after
goes 1 mon right
6-mon
now.
draw. Let's see, Blake across the way has drawn a Dora. Working probably just for Ricci Dora, maybe Pinfu if you get lucky. And on the left, Kayla, another Pinfu type hand, especially if the 3-pin is drawn. It's actually Ishan 10 right now.
He's already Ishanten. Had the chance to keep 4 mon. Oh wow, East Anko drawn. I had the chance to keep 4 mon and maybe try to look for a better like Ryamen, but decided to just take the more efficient Ishanten with keeping all the 1-1 2-pin.
Mm-hmm. Does end up pulling the 2-mon later and has to just give that up. Although I guess you could give up
You
the
could cut a
2-pin.
2-pin there,
Right, have
and
a
it is the same
5-7-7
efficiency
shape. Right.
in terms of acceptance.
Oh,
I would have drawn the 6-1.
apparently the
Now I want
mods.
to cut 2-pin.
Yeah.
Just you can still just cut the 2-pin here, and you can redraw into like 2-5-8 mon.
You don't have to end up being 50-10. You can always choose the Shabo later. Kevin will open up, though, for Tenpai East Dora 1. Some upgrades available, too. If you draw it... Ooh, does the Shabo look better? Does like it. And now if you draw a second Dora, you can even improve the Shampoo weight, or the value of your hand, while maintaining a similar weight.
Each.
Once again, Caleb will take a Ricci. And this time, Kevin does not draw the Ipatsu deal-in tile.
Did get the Ramen weight here, 1-4 so. There's quite a lot of tiles head. Looks like 1 so is all gone, and then 4 so has 2 tiles.
Don't.
And the 2-mon comes out, which was Gambutsu.
Yeah, Blake found the safe tile to the Ricci. Kevin was sitting on it. Now, a little bit closer to the pack. Still very tight game here in South 1, Repeat 1. This is a really nice looking high pipe for Kevin.
Yeah, probably gonna try to go Tanyao. Well, you do draw 9 so, which is kind of the tile that makes you maybe not go Tanyao. You can still, of course, shift with like a 3 or 6 so draw, especially since 3 so's door. This is a time where you could maybe even consider 3 so chi. I wouldn't until I find a pair. Oh, well, or
Wow.
just draw the 3 so, even better. But because the 3 so is Dora, like you could think about chiing it. Here though, now you have like a nice, 3 through 9 so shape,
Home.
which could also maybe even be like a summon ton.
Right,
You need
because
to still find your pair.
we're lacking the pair, right? A 3-sided Tonki would be great for Kevin here.
There's also like 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku chance. See if he. Oh, he's actually gonna go ahead and chi here. So this has chances to be. Well, you don't. I guess if you draw on the door, you can be 4, 5, 6.
Right, yeah, Sancho Godor too, even with the 9 so in hand, would I'm certain that's a big part of the reason why Kevin was willing to take this chi. And there's always a plan backup. If he gets, say, the 7-pin, can just drop the 9 so and wait on the Tonki 8-mon or whatever Tonki he chooses. In the meantime, Andrew has opened up a couple times and is currently Ishantem. For South, only a double South. Like across the way, Ishanten. That's not Ishanten, that's 2 away. We're at 8-9 pin, probably going to leave the hand soon, unless the 7-pin fills it. And Blake fills those. It's a well-known phenomenon. Kayla on the left. Now that is Ishantem. 1 tile. Ooh, interesting choice here.
Chi.
But wants to preserve the door acceptance.
Yeah. I don't know if it makes too. It probably makes the most sense to just Tsumogiri, and then you kind of want to keep the 4 so. I guess you could also consider dropping like a 6 so. Not sure if there's a huge difference between any of the choices, but actually gets the Ippei Tenpai here. Waiting on the 7 so.
Yeah, Kevin did call as well. Wait on the Tanya 8-mon.
So also, oh, I suppose you can't wait on the like. There was a way to wait on Dora Tonki, but it was 30-10.
Right, exactly. Kayla does take the Ricci though on that 7 so, and there's only 1 left in the wall. We'll see the Chi and swap to the.
Oh, this is dirty. Chi 8 so, wait 8 so.
But the other 2 8 so are
It's not
Kayla's
gonna work
hand.
here.
Wow. And after a
What
couple
what a dirty
times,
trick.
a couple discards, you don't see it come out, you might start to suspect that not being held.
Boom.
Andrew will deal in though. Holding his own tempai, Richie Peiko, no Ura, but Kayla jumps back to a significant lead here, almost up to 40,000 points.
I like the attempt there if the 8 so chi.
And of course, because Kayla won the hand, Kevin saw that it was a hopeless endeavor, but it was really
Yeah,
cool to see.
a fun attempt.
Andrew now as dealer has a Dora 5 so and 2 completed shapes already. But the remaining shapes hands are awkward unless you just fill the Kanchan.
Yeah, there's one Kanchan fill. Kind of
Wow,
an
3 so cut is
awkward choice there, what to drop.
this
I
very much
think
feels like a
maybe
Dorataki
8
play.
so is the best cut there, but it's a really awkward hand.
Would you ever consider 9 so?
I don't think so. I think like you just want to keep the 789 so complete.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to find a pair elsewhere, and especially because you want to pair up the Dora, just slam
Yeah.
a Ricci.
If you don't want to cut 8 so, I think maybe 1 pin is the other tile I'm looking at. I kind of want to keep the 3 so though, so I have like 2 tiles. Like I want to keep the Ryunkan of Dora 5 so.
Right, in this case, we're looking at ideal Sozu draws being the 5 so and the 6 so. But if we retain the 3 so, we also get the 4. So anything 4 through 6 would be a good draw for Andrew in that scenario. I guess if you discard the 8 so, the 6 is a little less useful. But you can't
Do a
feel too
5 pin
sad.
Senpai across the way here for the just Itsunomi.
Kayla won that early manga and has been doing a good job of
This
just shutting
actually
down hands.
could come out from Kevin pretty quick, who looks to be going for a Chitoy. And 5 pin's not a great tile there for a Chitoy, so might come out.
Andrew does draw into this potentially Ipeco shape in the upper Sozu, and will be faced with a choice if he draws something like the 9 so. Do we wait Doratanki or do we wait with a 6-9 pin Diamond? Oh, well now there's a 7 pin draw. This is just getting more awkward.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to just cut Dora. You definitely need to keep 7 pin, I think. If you're afraid to cut Dora,
Yeah, that's part of the problem, right?
I
Blake
don't know.
has
I don't think
opened.
there's a really good discard other than Dora is the problem. Like you're kind of really hurting your efficiency. I guess the next best discard is 8 so, which maybe if there's, I don't know, you lose like your Sozu Ipeko.
Yeah, I'm sure a bit
I
of
think I would just throw Dora.
that concern is Blake's opened with double south. You give him a Dora.
Yeah, but I guess 8 so if you don't want to cut Dora then.
And it ended up getting the 2 so chi, so realizes that, yeah, Dora would have been called.
Yeah.
This is tempai for Blake on the 7 mon. They've got
I feel like this
3
2 pin. I guess if you're afraid to cut the 2 pin, maybe it gets held. But I keep waiting for Kevin to drop this 5 pin. Maybe maybe the 2 call. Well, the 5 pin doesn't even look like terrible on the board. At least not against the south calls. I guess it looks pretty bad against Kayla.
Dom.
Kayla is the one to deal in here to the double south.
2,000 points, but puts Blake in striking range for first, only 5,400 points away. And we've got a little bit of a.
We do have a disconnection from Kayla. Okay, it looks like maybe they came back.
Oh, maybe not.
Or maybe not.
Hopefully that internet issue resolves itself quickly. Blake.
Nice to see Blake waiting.
Holding.
I don't know. I feel like you don't have to use your time bank. That's how I usually feel. I'll use my 5 seconds. I'm not gonna give you my time bank though.
Yeah, I think that's totally justifiable.
But you know, it's nice to see. Some people, I guess, if they feel like they can play without a time bank. I don't know. I'm not confident enough that I can play without a time bank. That I feel like I'm giving up like a valuable resource by spending my whole time bank.
It looks like this hand might go by pretty quickly. I mean, Blake's already 2 away from Tempai. Kayla can open up with double south. Kevin is Ishanten across the table with potential Ricci, Pinfu, Ipeko in the lower Pinzu. And oh, by the way, did I mention that double south was actually Dora?
Well, that is definitely quite a strong potential hand there. It looks like the South are still in the wall here. Although there's some other pretty good hands as well.
Okay, I just got Tempai.
Well,
Forget double south. Ricci, Dora 2. Potentially Peko waiting 5-8. So has 3 left in the wall.
Kevin's still able to maintain Ishan 10 here, cutting the one chance 2-pin. And draws another 2-pin.
Blake might consider fighting here. Yeah, goes
Oh,
with
and
the
actually
ace.
starts with the 8 so. Maybe 9 so would have been a little safer, but probably the 8 so follows anyways.
Right, and we do see the Ura found for Kayla. So the second Mongon of the game has, I think she's one of the only 2 Mongon hands, and currently sitting in a very strong 45,600 point lead in all last. So if she remains the only player above 30,000 points, she will pick up a bonus 5 points of Uma for being in first with that achievement. First place typically gets plus 15 points for their Uma bonus, but an extra 5 would make it 20. Certainly a nice little cherry on top of the victory.
Meanwhile, we do have an extremely close battle for all the other 3 positions here.
It's a lot of incentive to win 1,000 points to move up your position, but also if you can make it over 30,000 and finish with a positive score, that would be ideal as well. Kayla might not give him the chance for that. Already opening up with the South into Ishanten. Ooh, interesting choice here. What do you think?
I think 1 pin doesn't really do anything for the hand here. I think it seems like
I
the
like
best
this
choice.
Too. And if you could, see the 3 pin, you could chi and take your 2 diamond shapes, unless you really like the Shapo that you have currently. Does feel like the one is a tile that comes out a lot. Kevin with a very interesting hand on the right, including that Dora 5 so. Really wants to draw the 4 so, but we can see where they all are.
Here's the Tempai on the Champon. 8 pin 1 so. Looks like there's 1 of each left.
Kevin 2 away from Tempai, actually choosing to open up here and try to surpass Kevin for second place. Andrew not willing to allow that to happen. Opens up, it might have to drop this 8 pin. Yeah, for Tanyao, and will deal in. So places will change, just not by, not with the game ending.
Oh, look at this. Everyone within, there's a 500 points from 4th to 2nd here.
And a Homba as well, so even if it was slightly larger margin, it just wouldn't matter. Any 1,000 point hand is enough to change not just 1 but 2 positions from 4th.
It does have another Yakuhai start here, as well as the door 1 mon, but the shapes are below average for sure. We might see Kevin try for Etanio. You have to drop an 8-9 penchon, but that's not too bad. And then I wonder what we're gonna see from Andrew here. There's a lot of Monzu, but you also have like 7-8 pin and then 6-so, which are strong tiles. So might just it's gonna just cut 1 mon. Looks like just gonna try to play for like a normal Ricci hand here. Just cutting the door. The door doesn't really matter here. Everyone just wants to win 1,000 points. They're getting around 30,000 is nice, but I think you just want to fight for position.
Like Drew Hot Sparrow, there's 1 discarded already of the Green Dragon, but maybe could shift into Honitsu. Ooh, interesting choice again.
Full Onko. I don't think you need 8 pin. It's actually going to cut the 6-so first, though. You're not really looking for another pair. You already have North.
Right. Imagine
so I would just cut the 8 pin.
You were to draw, say, the 6 pin or 9 pin. You'd be Tempai, but it'd be on the 7 pin North, which is pretty weak. Only one of each tile left in the
Like,
wall.
this is just Kutsuki Ishanten, and the general rule of thumb of Kutsuki Ishanten is just keep the most middle tile you can, which is 6-0.
Right.
And get rid of your outside tiles like 8 pin and 8 mon. Although 8 mon's kind of nice because it's connected to the 4-5-6. So I would definitely start with the 8 pin.
That's helpful to Kevin. That is technically Ishanten on the right. Oh, that
And now
improves
better
the shapes.
Ishanten.
Yeah. And there could be enough value in this hand, especially with the Ricci, to move Kevin over 30,000.
Force discard, that's just a Chi-Toy commit.
Beach.
Okay, well, did find a Tempai. It's not the best one here, but it's just going to take the 2-pin Conchon. Was already in 4th place, so doesn't have too much to lose by committing the Ricci stick. Other than that, you can't really find any upgrades, but it's really hard to upgrade like 1 3-pin anyways.
Right, and now it's very challenging for the rest of the table, who has to try to dance around this Ricci while also taking into consideration the fact that if it goes to Ryukyoku and dealer's not
So here's a
Tempai,
Tempai, and it's going to be taken here, 5-8-0.
man, it looks like dealer
Kayla
will
not
be
going to give up her
Chi.
dealership yet.
Kevin also fighting, takes
Dong.
the Chi into Tempai, and will get the deal in as well. So Kevin will confirm second place, not over 30,000. Did have to lose, sacrifice a little bit of value to confirm the win, but took the victory and the second place. Kayla, though, big winner, plus 37.1 in first place, the only player above 30,000. So does indeed confirm the plus 20 points of Uma. Kevin takes a negative 3.1 second place. It is negative because the score was below 30,000. Blake taking negative 10.8 third, and Andrew negative 23.2 fourth place. And
yeah, I think that was, I mean, definitely all. Kayla alone wanted to win really anything. I think the only like big hand, she won all of them. I can't really remember. There was like some small hands won by the other players, but I think Kayla had all the big wins, and then it was just everyone else scrapping to try to fight for second. And in the end, Kevin was able to secure the second, which is it's not bad when you did deal into like the Ipatsu early in the game. So to recover to only get -3 is not bad.
right, it can be very discouraging when you are starting the game down 8,000 points. But Kevin's certainly no stranger to being able to fight back from that position, and did a great job of staying safe, still fighting for his hands, and winning just enough to take the second place there. Yeah, for Andrew, it felt like his hands weren't ever super amazing. Just from the starting draws, was doing the best he could to just play efficiently. Wasn't really trying to force Honitsu. There were a couple hands that maybe could have considered it, but said no, I'm just going to play efficiently. And just everyone else at the table was getting slightly better draws there. So we'll see if in the second game if things go a little bit better for Andrew and for Blake as well. Another player who had a couple of Tempai hands, but didn't really draw the type of value that they were looking for. I think one of the most exciting hands that game, though, was who was it? Had Andrew maybe with the Anko of Dora and the East pair.
I think it was Andrew. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it's definitely the. I think maybe worth a hand worth reviewing, if I was Andrew, because I think maybe like played that hand in a way that I think is okay if you don't have Dora, where it's sort of like kept the outside tiles, tried like for maybe like a Chanta, keep Kokoshi alive or whatever. But when you have Dora Anko, I think you're just supposed to play full efficiency, even if the hand like looks kind of slow. Like I would have just kept all the middle tiles and see where that took. Maybe it wouldn't have been enough to win the hand, but I think it would have had a better chance than holding like all the honor tiles.
Yeah, I think just thinking back to that, the draws didn't really quite get there. So I suspect it probably would have finished the same way because the other hand that did it eventually win was very fast.
Yeah,
But
it might have not actually made a difference in this case, but I
definitely a
think
good one,
maybe
as you
still
said, to look at.
Yeah, still recognize like those Dora. When you have the Dora Yakuhai Anko, those are a special hand. You really got to just, I think, try as hard as you can and play maximum efficiency.
All right, well, we will have game number 2. And these positions, Kayla will be the starting dealer. Kevin to the right, Andrew across the table, Blake on our left. I did see, though, as we were updating the game, that there's a C1 game in progress as well. So perhaps after this one ends, we can take a look at what's going on around the league. But Kayla opens us up, starts out by discarding the East, has a singleton of the Dora. Anything spicy in this hand?
Definitely above average, I'd say. Like the Pinzu shapes are really nice. Now it picks up a chance. Does have the door penchant now, but yeah, has already has the pair in the 9 so, and then the completed sequence, and then the 2 2 3 3 is a good start. And another Dora is great here. You even have 4 pairs now. You're not really thinking Chitoi though. Maybe you could consider Tanya, but it's kind of hard when you have the 9 so pair and then the 2 2 3 3 kind of wants to accept a 1 pin draw. So we'll have to see where the hand goes.
Yeah, Kevin on the right with just standard shapes. A floating door at 8 mon really needs a 7 mon to fill that in. But we'll just play normal, efficient discards at the start of the hand. See where the draws take him.
Andrew does have the Yakuhai Anko, but the rest of the shapes aren't great. Oh, actually, 9 so pair drop. So it was Chitoi Ishan 10. But Kayla is going to just drop the 9 so pair. I think this is probably a play for Tanya.
Absolutely. It has all the blocks for it. If you expect to be able to call, say, a 3 pin and then a 2 pin, could very easily get to Tempai.
I think the idea is good. I think you can start with 9 pin though, and you just keep Chitoi Ishan 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder.
Accidentally get there.
Ooh, we see Tempai actually. Andrew's shapes
Boom.
managed to fill in. They worked amazing, but grabbed a Kanchan fill, and now is Tempai on the 5 so.
I did see a 6 pin pawn. I might have skipped that one because I think that 6 pin. Well, this 5 so just look like it's just gonna come right out. Could have considered holding it as a Tanya tile, but yeah, just did see the 5 so dealing. So it's just gonna have to Shaw me. But
yeah,
I think maybe that 6 pin call was a bit hasty. There are definitely like calls you actually don't help the hand. It's like you think like, oh, I'm Tanya, so I just want to pawn, but like maybe that 6 pin was more useful. Just keeping it closed.
yeah. Thinking back to that hand, I do think that I like the 4-5-6 shape in the 6-7
Yeah.
chi, because I don't think it advanced you in Shanten, whereas say a chi of the 5 or 8 pin would.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely do like the idea of holding out on that 6 pin call. But in the end, if she didn't call it, it would have been a Tsumo. So the hand would have ended regardless.
Now on to Kevin's dealership, who kind of has the penchant's a bit awkward, but it does have Ibeko. The Anko draw is really nice because now you can look at this like 7 8 8 9 9 shape as just a way to find a pair as well. Or you can draw the 7 mon and still get the Ibeko. On the right, that's kind of an interesting hand, looking to go for. It could become a Honitsu or just like a quick, like south, maybe Hatsu. Like a Richi here, if you draw 3 6 pin, would be really nice. Get the 1 so Hatsu, Shampon Richi with the 1 so, even though there's only 1 left, it would be Suji trapped.
Yeah, Andrew had a choice there whether to hold the 5-6 mon or the 4-5 pin. Ended up going with the 4-5 pin. I don't know if there's too much difference in the two, but maybe thinking about the chance that this could turn into Honitsu with some good draws.
Perhaps also could have considered dropping 1 so and just keeping both the Ramen. I think that's another okay choice, but that does mean you can't pawn Hatsu, so a tricky decision. You know, the Hatsu are Mochi Mochi, so isn't gonna find those. Yeah, another chance to keep. Well, that was a Fritzen Ramen, so not gonna keep that one. But yeah, the other Hatsu are held across the way. Blake with the Hatsu pair.
Yeah, Blake, I'm sure, is eagerly awaiting a 6 or 9 mon draw for this Entotsu 3 so. Oh wait, that's not Entotsu, is it? 4. I guess it'd be 4-7 Richi. Or 7 so Ricci.
Yeah, now just has to choose which Ryomens to keep. Is gonna stick with. Oh, that was 30-10, so yeah. Gonna stick with the 7-8 Mon and the 5-6 so.
Kevin's
Uh,
shapes. Gee, looks so nice. But wants to hold the Dora. And
oh
uh-oh.
yeah, the one pin was the door, so kept that. Maybe setting up for a Dora Tonki, I think is the idea. Which
Andrew,
in which case I guess you might as well cut 8 pin.
Andrew goes Atosuke here looking for the Hatsu, but turns out Blake's got him.
Well, it does also have the south, so it can win on the one so as
Oh,
well.
you're right. So actually is just a Tenpai that can win here. And the one so was drawn by Blake and will need to come out here. So it will be the south only for Andrew. 2 wins in a row. Neither of them terribly expensive, but building up some momentum leading up to his dealership. And maybe this is the hand where it explodes.
Alright, so I'd say pretty average dealer hand here. It does have the door south. The Conchon feels really nice here. But I might be thinking, my mind would be kind of on Tanya if I had this hand. And I'd be probably looking to cut the door pretty quickly. I don't think there's any calls I want to make, but especially like if I draw something around 6 Mon, I think that probably Tanya is the best way forward. I don't know, 3 Mon works as well. Like I might just cut door right here. And that is what we see actually.
Yeah, I think throughout this game we've seen Andrew play as efficiently as possible, not holding out too long on these Dora tiles, not being too greedy. Perhaps Blake looking at Gucci Pinfu? After filling that 7-mod penchant, certainly a viable option.
Yeah, it's a really nice draw there. So still needs a pair, but does have 3 Ryomen ready to go. So it's in a good shape for a Pinfu. We do have the door pair on the left with some alright shapes as well. Already has 2 completed Mentsu. And just missing... Oh, now draws a 5 pin, which is nice. So currently Kutsuki Ishanten with 7 so and 4 pin. That's the floating tiles, which are really strong floating tiles as well. Because they're sort of next to blocks as well. So like if you draw like 5 pin, you have like Ipeko chance as well on top of everything.
Looks like Andrew will get there first. Takes the reach. He chooses the Shampoo weight, 5-pin 6 so.
I think I usually tend to just take, like if both the weights look about the same, I usually just take the Shampoo. Just because having like 2 weights, like it's a bit easier to get like Suji trapped. I don't know, I think it just tends to be a little bit better to wait on 2 tiles versus 1.
Yeah, as it turns out, the 6-pin, which would have been the other weight, it's all being held. So probably the right choice here. It looks like there are 2 6 left in the wall for Itsumo. Now the 5 pins are fairly reasonably locked away in hand, so unlikely to see those come out. Unless it becomes
See how much
Sushi
pushing
trapped.
Kevin can do. Kevin did push the 7 Mon on Ipatsu, which was Sotogawa, to the 6 Mon. Could have pushed the 7 so Suji. Oh, okay, now has a Tenpai, but doesn't take it. I guess South is dead, so it was just waiting for pin. So skips that Tenpai, because would have had to push 5 Mon, which looks pretty dangerous.
Sumo.
And meanwhile, that does give enough time for dealer to Tsumo here. Yuji Tsumo and no Uro, so just 1,000 all.
Slowly the value of these hands is improving, and Andrew now at 35,900, and the dealership remains.
Well, this might be the end of the dealership. This is quite a weak looking high pie here for dealer. Just kind of cut the Yakurai. Maybe like a hand like this. I guess you have Tanyo consideration, so you probably just gotta cut the Yakurai. Also 2 Mon could give a faraway Sanshoku chance, so. Yeah, well, I just have to hope for good draws, I think, if you're dealer. On the right, that looks like quite a bit of a better hand. You do have the Penchon, which is a bit weak, but I might just look to cut the Penchon and go to Tanyo anyways. The Pinzu shape and Sozu shapes are really nice. Dealer does get a nice Conchon fill. Okay, 5 pin draw. And does cut the 6 mon. Like that's where I might have just cut the 1-2 mon, I think. And at least give yourself a chance at Tanyao.
Yeah, see, in this
But
instance, you still
this
have
is
good draws towards your Tanyao, especially if you draw around that so shape, and you can easily.
this is Ishanten, and I also could maybe put some value in the fact that it is a Suji Chap 3 mon. So perhaps feels a bit better about taking the Penchon Richi since it would be Suji trapped. I think now you have to cut 1-2 mon though. I really want to keep like the Sozu all intact here. And then you can maybe even use that as a Nobuton. And yeah, just cut the 2 mon.
Kayla aiming for a Ricci with this hand, especially if she gets to use the Dora. And Kevin on the left.
Oh, there is the Dora.
Wow,
so
okay.
Gonna take the Richi here, 3-6-0.
Nobuton, 6-0 immediately drawn. So that was the last one. There's only 3 still left in the wall, and 2 of those. Kevin was working towards.
Not really sure
Shanta.
anyone can chase this. It'd take quite a bit of a Mwashi because no one looks that close at the moment.
Andrew does draw the 4-pin. This is technically Ishanten, had the 2 Mon and now the Suji 3 Mon to discard.
Does and can call for Tanya as well, so I guess yeah, maybe dealer can chase this a little bit.
Kayla starts with the Genbutsu 4-so.
Kevin making a call. Looks to be mostly just a K10 call here with the north drop.
Definitely looks like Kayla's looking for a way out of this hand, though. Not necessarily trying to force it. Oh, with that 5-so draw, let's see Peiko. She is 2 away from Tenpai. And now the 7-so has come out, so she can choose to bail. Speaking of bailing, Andrew.
This is Tenpai.
Yeah, to just fight here.
Chooses on the 7-so.
Which was Genbutsu to the Ricci, so Kayla might deal in here. It's the 7-pin, though.
Depends on how much you are worried about 7-pin push, because that is definitely a sign. I don't know if there's a way to defend against both.
How bad does Andrew feel about this 8-so? Looks like he's really suspicious and chooses to bail away with a 2-so. Doesn't mean it's a full give up here. We can still call back into Tenpai, or draw back into Tenpai even. There's like 1 tile left in the wall for this Ricci. Blake only has 1 draw with which to find it. Kayla, considering that she can push you close to Tenpai, but in the end choosing to back away here. Looks like Andrew will not be finding Tenpai here. And we're heading to Ryukyoku. Very tense situation with that early Ricci.
Blake does collect the 3,000 points.
And the dealership does pass.
Gets a pretty poor high pie. What is this? 8 different terminals and honors? You can't even reset on ladder.
Yeah, what are you able to do with this?
A pretty sad hand here. You can see just thinking what to do. He's gonna try for a west. There's like different ways to play this hand. I think his dealer just trying for efficiency. You do at least have like a Pinzu Ryamen which accepts Dora.
Yeah, you
like
look
maybe
at that
you get enough good draws.
Right, you just say this is Tanya. And now it's Tanya Dora 1.
Yeah. So it definitely is a hand that can win, even if the high pie looks very bad.
We did see a call on the left from Andrew opening up for Northwind, Dora 1. Currently, still needs to collect a few more block. Well, there's the last minimum block, I guess. We'll hope to improve away from some of these shapes or just call his way down. Let's say across the way, Kevin has the Haku pair. Anko of Force already. No Dora, though. Not a ton of value here without a Ricci. On the right, Kayla, slightly better shapes here. Maybe there's a 5-6-7 that she can find. That would be a way to incorporate not only Adora, but also just make something, add some more value with the Ricci.
Let's pick up the 8-mon instead, but still happy to have that hand be advancing. Isn't an alright 2-Shanten. We did see the 2-pin Chi for the Haku Arezuke. The Haku is in the wall. Pei was also called. Give Ishan-ten on the left. Now Tenpai. The 2-mon 3-so Champon for Pei door 1.
Oh, here's the 9 can con.
On chance.
It takes
and there
it.
is the con. Flips 5 Pei. Oh, flips 2-mon. That's even better.
Door. We'll take it. Now Kevin is Tenpai on the Haku, which is still walled up. Now 2-mon does not want to come out of anyone's hand here. This 3-mon will not deal in if it's discarded by Kayla. But still she chooses to hold on to it. There is a...
we do have a Mongo in hand here.
I mean, dealer as well with two Dora, so...
Yeah, and that 3-so does not fit into the hand. And there comes the 3-so. The con working magic here.
Okay, Dora 3. That's a Mongon for Andrew out of nowhere. So where last game was Kayla's game, this seems to be Andrew's game. He's won, what, 3 out of 4 hands?
I think so.
And the only other hand was a Ryukyoku, where he passed his dealership, so... This is exactly what Andrew's looking for.
Kayla's gonna try to stop that here on her dealership. Does have a quick looking hand. Can even call for Tanyao. Especially like I think 3-mon Chi might just have to make. Ideally you get a Ricci.
Yeah, there's even some 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku upgrades.
Do 6-so Dora, which there's one across the way from Toyman and then one on the left. Kamicha's already Ishan-ten actually. Is looking to try to fill in that actually yeah, it is Ishan-ten, okay.
Not necessarily an amazing weight, although the 9-so could be a tricky tile. Kayla's slowly improving here. And did manage to pull in the door 6-sos, which means the 6, 7, 8 Sanchoku is completely live now.
Yeah, it did sort of fix the door in the hand with the 8-so cut. That does mean that you kind of lose the 3-4 pin Ryamen, but it does give you the better chance at the door Sanchoku. So going for the value play here.
Yeah, the one issue for Kayla is that the 7-so, a valuable commodity, and perhaps her best chance at finding one has just been discarded.
Well, here's a Tenpai. Let's see if it's taken here. It would be Ricci door 1 on the 7 pin.
Yeah, I think Blake takes
It's going to be taken.
It's early enough, and maybe Andrew's showing... Andrew and Kevin are both showing the most in terms of middle tiles. But Kevin's discards look very strange. It's very difficult to read what's going on over there. In the meantime, Kevin is just Isha-ten with Ricci Dora 1. Oh, but draws a deal-in tile and throws it out. It's Suji. Kayla pushed the 4-pin. And surprise, it was trapped. Suji trapped and hits an Uda as well, so Blake picks up 5,200 points.
Yeah, I'm not sure the 7-pin comes out there without Kayla. At least would have been more of a hesitation, but Kayla setting the trap there for Kevin to fall into.
Kevin probably not too upset to fall into this high pie.
Now this high pie is incredible here. Turn 1 Kutsuki Ishan-ten. That seems pretty good to me. Even has a Dora.
Question is, how long will it be until we find a Tenpai? And do we even take it?
Well, there's a Tenpai.
I think we're going to take this
immediately does take it. It's does take the Ricci Pinfu here. Dora 1 as well on 4-7 pin.
5 tiles in the wall. Very live. And it's such an early Ricci that the rest of the table pauses and says, okay, how am I meant to handle this situation? Do I have value to fight with? Am I close enough to fighting with? And for most of these players, the answer should be no, not close enough.
Yeah, we see so far just a lot of honors being discarded. It's tough to find much else that could be safe against early Ricci, though the 6-mon does give a fair bit of information.
I imagine this will be a very slow defensive task.
We do actually see one pin pushed across the way. It did have like 9 Mon Suji as an option, but we do see that Blake wants to fight with this hand, it seems like. Now cuts the 9 Mon.
And with two Dora probably taking that into consideration. One of the winning tiles was drawn by Andrew quickly after the Ricci. And then we see a second drawn by Blake. So now only 3 remaining in the wall. Andrew is actually Ishanten on the right. I wonder if he'll choose to fight. Should he draw to Tempai? Another 4-pin drawn. So only one 4-pin, one 7-pin remain.
7-so also pushed, so table definitely not scared by Dealer Ricci here. See a lot of attacking.
Blake's getting there. Can push the 5. 5 is Genbutsu, 5 so. And then the 3 so is less safe for sure because it's near the door tile. Could deal into a Penchon. 1-2 waiting on the 3, or even a Kanchan 2-4 waiting on the 3.
We did see Suji 2-pin cut, which I wonder if that's gonna get Kayla into trouble at all. Well, no, we do see 4-pin sumo here. Looked like Kayla was trying for a Honitsu there, and if she got it, would have dealt in with the 4-pin, but instead we had Kevin sumoing first and actually hit the Urador as well for the Dealer Mongon.
A big win for Kevin, and good dodge there by Kayla. If she had dropped that in, it would be 12,000 points with the Ura.
Well, this high five not as exciting as the last one. The Monzu shape's nice, but everything else about the hand is pretty weak. On the right, we do see the Hatsu pair. But then the rest of the shapes, again, aren't very great. Just have a lone Dora. Toyman's hand. The Sozu's pretty nice. You have, again, just a lone Dora 1 Mon. And then Kayla's hand probably looks the fastest to me. With the nice Sozu Ryamen and then the 2 completed blocks already in Monzu is already Ishan 10.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone was to draw a Dora,
oh, here's Tempai.
Kayla would want it.
Immediate Ricci. And this is a nice Shampon here. 1 pin 2 Mon where you also have the Anko of the 3 Mon in your own hand, sort of creating a wall. It makes the 2 Mon a lot harder for other people to use.
Right. The only
issue makes it a better weight.
The only issue with that is that only you can see the 3 Mon currently, and the 2 Mon being close to door might make it tricky to come out. However, all these 3 pins coming out forms a similar wall that is visible to everyone, and the 1 pin is a very easy cut there. You're not expecting it to deal into that weight.
Yeah, it doesn't really help you roam chances, but I think it makes it a bit easier to sumo. It's harder for people to like chase your hand, like with a 2 Mon in hand.
Right. It just slows them down if they're stuck with, say, a 1-2 Penchon, looking for a 3 that will never come.
Yeah.
That was a very important direct hit because Kayla and Blake at before the hand had ended were only 100 points apart. I guess before the Ricci, and now there's a bit more separation there. So the scoreline's becoming a little more stratified here. We have Andrew as the dealer with the pair of Dora and 3 pairs in total. It's going to be a little bit difficult to make anything outside of a Ricci here with 9 Mon being the Dora tile.
Yeah, it's a pretty slow hand. Maybe you think about 3-pair Chitoi sometimes with the Dora pair. It's kind of awkward. You really want to draw an Anko or another pair, and now you really think about Chitoi.
The best I can do is another pair. Blake perhaps with a faster hand, given the pair of Hatsu, but I think Blake might be interested in building towards a Ricci instead.
Also a really fast hand here. It's already Ishan 10.
Might end up on that.
Is looking at just a Ricci Nomi.
1 pin Sanzo Shabo.
It's a 2-tile weight, not exactly what you want. Might even just consider cutting 1 pin and going Tanyao.
Yeah, I like that plan. Because if you cut the 1 pin now, you lose a little bit. You lose the other one
Hey, the
pin.
Chi Toy's coming together. The 3-pair Chi Toy. Sometimes that's what you need. Now we're up to 5.
Is this really a cheat toy for Andrew? Here's the last Hatsu. If it comes out, like we'll have a decision to make.
Boom.
I'm actually a bit surprised the Hatsu came out because the once cut honor is a pretty good Chi Toy tile. Well, I guess Kayla is not afraid of this 2-tile Champon.
I mean, the one pin worked so well in the last hand.
Snapped it off here.
Andrew might consider dropping it out here.
And there it is again. The one pin Champon does it again.
I know what I'm waiting on in my next game. Kayla climbs up to 26-6 going into all last. She is a 3-hun hand away from making it over 30,000, although I guess I should be careful to specify what type of 3-hun hand. Let's say 3 and 30.
Boom.
Do you see a quick call of the Haku here? Just probably going to try to just end this game here.
Yeah, confirm first for Andrew.
Boom.
See calls from Kevin as well, calling the South Yaku High. Looking, let's see, I guess this might not be enough to Gyeok 10 at the moment. It's looking like could maybe accept one Dora, but even that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, not
So
even
might be happy just securing second here. Maybe if you got Toy Toy, then you could do something. 5200 would do it.
But Andrew has found Tempai. It is on the Dora indicator, so not an easy tile to find by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, Kayla, an interesting move there. Chooses to discard the Dora 5. So, is this a play for Junchan?
I think it probably is. I'd be thinking more like Chitoy of that hand. In which case I'd probably want to keep the Dora. But I think that probably is a play for Junchan.
We also have a Tempai for Kevin waiting on the 6-0.
Yeah, this is not going to be enough value here. Just going to try to secure the positive second.
Maybe the play is to con the
Hold
9
on, maybe you can... Okay. Yeah, no, this is too far to shift the Toy Toy. Just accept the second.
Yeah, at least between Kevin and Andrew, one of the two of them should be able to end the game, confirming the positive score for both. And that's indeed what will happen here. Andrew, picking up the 2-han victory, will move back over 40,000 and claim first place. Will be a plus 26.2 for Andrew. Kevin takes a positive 9.8. Kayla, negative 10.4 third place. And Blake, the negative 25.6 fourth. We don't have full standings for you, but I can give you an update on what that means for this division. In B2, Josh still in the lead at plus 44.2 after 2 games played, but Kayla's in second place, 26.7, followed by Barry and Gauhan. Kevin finishes the 2-game series with a plus 6.7, and they will be playing 2 more games a little bit later in the week, I think this week, actually. I'll have to double check the calendar to confirm that, but they'll be finishing this out a little bit later. There's 2 very interesting games where only one player was getting the Mongons in both of them.
Yeah, I think out of the table, I think probably Kayla coming out the most positive with the big first in the first game, and then relatively small loss in the third place in the second one. But Kevin also went positive with had the negative second in the first game, but to get a positive second in the second game to go positive overall.
Well, there's 2 more games being played currently, and I know exactly which game we have to go to next. 2 more games from B2 specifically. It is B2 heavy day for sure.
I saw Amway and Garth. I didn't quite catch who the other 2 were there, but
That's all I needed to see. But Ryan was the other player. So, having just seen Kayla's performance, did quite well for herself. Well, I'm very interested to see how Tucker will do. He is currently the dealer in South 2. Garth also at this table, and with the lead, 40,000 points for Garth. I'll
See
let
what Tucker
you.
can do on their dealership. It does have a pretty fast-looking hand here, although maybe not the most expensive. Probably just going to call Haku if it's offered and take Haku no Mi.
Of course,
Looks like we might have
it's gonna
Cheetoy
lag a
across the way.
little.
Definitely a Cheetoy across the way because we had 9-mon commit. So we do see just a 5-pair Cheetoy here, Ishan 10. Tucker has made it to Ishan 10. Garth also getting Tempai here and not taking the Riichi. Is a 1-mon, 6-mon wait, and 1-mon is dead.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
very
just a
dead
1
weight.
tile wait. Very
Hey,
understandable.
so it's interesting though here though he had a choice to just take the 3-mon Penchant Riichi.
Yeah, I think the
Dora
idea
1.
here is going to ultimately just try to like use 6-mon as a floating tile. And if you draw another floating tile, like something like, I don't know, say a 4-pin or something, would then could you consider just cutting 6-mon?
Exactly, take your Kutsuki shape. Like right now, it's basically a Kutsuki Ishanten with only 1 tile instead of 2.
Yeah. And then, you know, sometimes you randomly draw 6-mon and just hit the Tsumo button. I suppose the reason to cut the 1-mon instead would be you do get Tanyao.
Home.
Tucker's really hoping to find Tempai closed, but will accept the pawn here. Oh, and now Itsu chance for Garth.
That's
6-9.
from the 1-mon, making the more defensive discard maybe, although you do lose the 6-mon Kutsuki tile. Although now has a nice Sozu Nakabakuriya shape, which is another strong tile for the Kutsuki.
Yeah, and in this case, if you draw around the So shape, the discard of the
Chi.
1 stone instead of 6 ones means you get
Oh, it's going to
Tanya.
deal in.
Wrong.
Just
One
saw a
mon.
Chi for Tanyao, and that does mean the 9-pin is going to come out.
That kind of demonstrates the benefit of holding the 6-mon pair instead of the 1-mon pair as well, is that Tanya chance.
Garth definitely just making a play there to try to advance the round.
Right.
Because that was an incredible Ishan 10 to call for only, I think it was Tanya Nomi. I can't remember
There's
if it had
one Dora, but yeah.
One Dora, so 2000.
And well, Tucker maintains the dealership here in South 2. 2 Homba now. South callable. Dora in hand. So maybe another fast 2 Han.
You definitely could see it here. South R on the wall. Garth also with another pretty quick hand, and does have a Sanshoku chance as well. See how much Garth wants to lean into the Sanshoku. Probably gonna, I think, yeah, the next cut would probably be the Penchant. 1-2 mon. Corsair does complete that sequence on the left. Does give that hand to Shantan at the moment. Yeah, Garth does break away from that Penchant as he picks up the 9-pin. So now Ishan 10. Another pair. We're going to see maybe another Cheetoy 10 from Daniel. Ishan 10. It does have the Dora 5-mon.
Ooh.
So has the Dora Tonki ready to go.
Interesting choice for Tucker. Actually chooses to cut south-south and immediately Garth Ricci.
Yeah, it has a solid early Ryamen Riichi here, even if it is Nomi. Just immediately is happy to take it and try to get off of Tucker's dealership.
Home.
Poe and Tucker's gonna fight. Technically Ishan 10 here.
I don't know how much this helps. I might have just passed that, but we'll see how it works. Because now you're looking for a pair. So I feel like opening the hand by calling your pair doesn't help a lot.
I mean, it advances you. We'll see if Tucker can get there.
I mean, I think technically the Shanten's the same. It does make it wider.
Right.
Sumo.
Well, we do see it Sumo. No Dora para for Tucker in this hand. It'll just be 4,000 points, plus the Ricci stick, plus 2 Homba from everybody. And Garth solidifies the lead going into his final dealership in South 3.
Yeah, so trying to secure this first place here. Not a terrible high pie. It does already have completed Pinzu Mensu. See how Garth wants to play from the lead here. If is going to consider holding any safe tiles or just going to continue to play efficiency even from first. Well, now the hand's kind of quick, so it's probably just going to try to continue to win on here. We do have maybe an E2 chance on the right from Daniel. In Pinzu. Hand's still looking for a pair as well. Picks up a 7-pin. This could maybe make the hand shift to a Tanyo. Cut 1-so here. 9-pin draw is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's gonna go 1-so. This does mean that at the moment 6 Mon's your only pair, so you do sort of lose some Monzu immediate draws.
Oop.
This is Tempai. I don't think we're gonna see a Ricci, and we don't. Doesn't really make
some
sense to take a Ricci Nomi here.
very sweet draws to upgrade us. Speaking of sweet draws, Ryan across the table picking up a pair of Dora now. Still needs to complete a couple of these shapes, but at least the value is starting to approach Mongon.
Well, that's not going to deal in. No Yaku.
Garth very patient here, holding out for something better.
Chi this, it doesn't really do a lot. You're like Tanyo Nomi. Oh yes, just pass. I love that. That's my favorite thing in the game. You think about Chiga a tile, and then you're like, nah, I don't want to open quite yet, and then you just draw it yourself. And instead of Tanyo Nomi, now has Menton Peen with a chance at Ipeko.
Feels like we just need to draw the last 5 pin for Ipatsumo, Takame, just get rewarded for the patience. 2 pins close,
Yeah.
but not quite it. 8 pin has 3 in the wall, as well as the 1 remaining 5 pin. And despite the 2 Dora, Ryan is starting with a 9 Mon, so definitely playing safe here. It looks like everyone's gonna have a hard time fighting this, so this just might be up to the wall. Garth versus the wall. Who would win?
There is still looks like 1 5-pin and then all the 3 8-pin I guess left. So 4 tiles to Tsumo is quite a lot here. There's the 5-pin, so not going to get the Takame.
Yeah, everyone is moving as far away from this reach as they can.
Sumo.
And there it is, Garth Tsumo.
Garth
hit another Ura. Not no Ura this time, but 2,600 all.
Yeah, and this...
And Garth really solidifying this first place. Now just ideally would like to keep everyone below 30,000 and maybe just continue to run up the score. Another pretty strong high pie. Has the Yaku high, has Honitsu chance, does have the Dora 4-pin. See how much Garth wants to play this Honitsu. Like, oh yeah, I think we go Honitsu.
Well, West
Let's
is
see.
cut
Is it gonna be like North or 3 Mon? Yeah, 3 Mon. The West is dead, but it's still a valuable pair.
Right.
Planning
to call the Haku, make Itsu and the Pinzu anyway. It's all good.
Yeah, if you draw 7-so, you can kind of just be like, fine. I guess I'll be normal hand. Yeah, I think we're gonna be pulling 6-so. Yeah, sure, 8-so first.
I guess Yakuhai Dora Honitsu is already Mongon, so the Itsu doesn't even matter here, but we're happy to accept any block. No one else with a door in hand either. Although, I will say Daniel on the right looking pretty good. Ishanten actually for Richi Pinfu. Across the way, there might be a Tanya play for Ryan. Does choose to cut the 2-pin and then the 1-pin. Soon to follow.
Yeah, the hand didn't really have. You could maybe start 1-pin first. Just my only. I like the idea. I would start with 1-pin just in case you draw door 4-pin. But yeah, I think a Tanya is a good idea with that hand.
Oh, 6-mon is a surprise from Daniel. Definitely holding out for the Ipeco, I guess, but this does drop you back a Shantan because we no longer have a pair.
Yeah, I think that definitely seems like an error.
Oh, pair
So
found.
that's a pretty good Ishanten as well.
Oh
Well,
no,
yeah, it
drops it back.
doesn't seem like there's much harm done. You do lose Tanyo.
Yeah, if you're going this route, it makes sense to cut the 9 instead of the 6.
Well, I guess you're still. It's kind of awkward because that was now you went back a Shanten again. Yeah, I think a couple inefficient discards here.
I wonder to what degree it was just drawing the door and saying, I don't really want to cut the 7-pin. Maybe because Garth looks like it's a Honitsu hand.
Yeah, could be. Garth actually drew the 5 so and
Boom.
decided just to be normal here. Check the Ishanten.
Ryan chooses to open up as well for Tenpai Tanya only. Of course, for Ryan at this point, it's very difficult to imagine achieving a first place here, but at least you want your second place to be over 30,000 points. And
Dong.
we'll march a little bit closer with the Tanyao and the Homba, sending us into all last.
Garth will be happy to only lose 1,300 there and in the dealership. Ideally, you would keep winning, but if you're not going to win, to only lose 1,300, I think is a fine result.
Absolutely. And we'll have Daniel, who is currently in 4th place by 600 points. It's going to be a really tricky hand to play out.
Yeah, this is a really pretty ugly high pie here. I wonder if I just start with like 8-pin and consider like a Honitsu, but it's just a bad hand. There's no great way to play it.
Yeah, I remember we saw a hand like this in the previous game where Blake started with just so many useless honor tiles and ended up just discarding them all, aiming for Tanya, but had Tanya blocks. And these shapes are a lot worse. You've got a 1-mon, 7-8-9-mon, 1-3, so 7-9, so. So it looks more like Chanta than Tanya.
Yeah, and the 8-pin now does have like a Sanchoku chance as well, so keeping that could work out here. We do see Tucker has the door pair, and there's one in dealer's hand as well. I don't think dealer's gonna cut it anytime soon, just because there's so many other bad tiles to cut first. But yeah, Tucker with a pretty strong hand here. Might not even need the. Might just end up with like a Ricci here. Although I guess there is still a couple bad shapes to fill with the 2-4 Penchon or Conchon, excuse me.
Of course, we have Garth in the left with Tanya shapes. Can start to call it down if these middle tiles start to come out. Wait, this is not the first time we've seen a 4-6-6-8-8 so on our left.
That is true, yeah. I did get a nice 4-mon draw there. Alright, dealers' draws have been pretty good here. You do also now have 4 pairs, and you also have that Dora Haku. So I would definitely be thinking about a Chitoy, and we've seen Daniel go for Chitoy multiple times this game already, so wouldn't be surprised if Daniel also is at least considering a Chitoy here.
So the table should be very interested in this chi. Not only is it a terminal chi, which is a little bit unusual, but also Tucker had already discarded this 9-so, and now chi's it back. So definitely the table should be asking some questions. What is going on over there?
Yeah, I think definitely Tucker probably doesn't call that, except the fact that it is 30-10 and just didn't want to get stuck on that as the final weight. So it's just like, fine, I'll cheat. Others okay. Get this 30-10 out of here. Don't have to worry about it. And now is Tenpai on the Haku. Yeah, definitely looking. It also kind of looks like Itsu as well. It doesn't turn like it is. It turns out that it is, but I think that could also be a threat to the table here. But yeah, probably Daniel's gonna hold on to this Dora here.
Especially because Daniel can just Tonki on the Dora for Chanta.
Yeah, true. Starting to look a lot more like Chanta than Chitoy here.
Oh, Garth can call this into Tempai. Chooses to let it pass, though.
Yeah, push. Would have had to push. Well, actually, just draws Tempai here.
Oh, and the
And
3
it's
just
going to
came
take
out
the
from Tucker,
Dama.
so Daniel will drop it.
Garth happy to just end the game here. And yeah, that will actually mean that Daniel does get 4th place here. Tucker doesn't win the hand, but is probably going to be happy enough to at least not drop into 4th. I suppose winning that hand would have meant jumping all the way up to a positive 2nd, but yeah, Garth actually secures the full 20 UMA here, keeping everyone below 30,000.
Yeah, plus 40.6 for Garth. Will jump Kayla in the standings. I believe this is their. Oh, I haven't updated the information for this table, but I believe this is their first game. Ryan negative 2.3 seconds. Respectable when one player is running the table. Tucker takes the negative 13.2, and Daniel the negative 25.1. So the standings slowly starting to fill out a little bit. And well, I would like to see a full game from this table. If they're playing another, let's take a quick peek and see if they have queued up another one. And it looks like they are. Actually, we'll be
All right,
starting
we got to watch another game here.
a few seconds away. Just looking at the other games that are going on live, I see the table with Josh, Barry, Tommy, Gauhan. That's another B2 matchup. They're on their second game right now. I believe last night a lot of C1 had scheduled their matches. And tonight it's the B2 show.
Oh, we're underway, and Garth has already a pretty quick touche on 10 as dealer.
Home.
Also, a couple quick hands, because across the way we see Honitsu commit already on turn 1 here with the Hakupon and then the 6-0 drop. So some quick hands here. Does pick up the Dora 5-pin. See how Daniel wants to play that. Probably just going to cut it, but it's going to at least hold it for now. The Dora is picked up by Ryan. I do see Daniel holding the Dora over the tone. Do you usually like to do you prefer to Sakagiri the Dora with these hands, or
See.
just keep it and see if you end up using it?
I think in this situation with Honitsu, very likely, I prefer to cut the Dora, but in a lot of situations, I do like the Dora, holding the Dora for a chance to pair it up. Just the 5-pin in this case is so easily usable by anybody. I really don't want to be trapped with it after Ricci. Of course, we could draw around it because we have enough pairs to just make a sequence and go for 2,000 points instead.
This is Tempai here. We'll see if Ryan wants to take it.
Beach.
Yeah, we're gonna see Ricci. Ricci Dora 1. And this is, well, I guess in this case it's not a problem because Dora's safe. But one of the reasons I don't like holding Dora is like it kind of shuts. It makes it really hard to push. Actually, this south is a dangerous Ipatsu draw. Let's see what happens here. See, oh,
Go.
3-so comes out.
Tsuji.
Was 2 Shan 10. I really don't like trusting the 3-so Suji. It's like a really weak Suji trap. I would even prefer just pushing south. That's kind of definitely something you pick up on. Not all Suji are created equal. The 3 and the 7 Suji are a lot more likely to deal in than any of the other Suji.
Yeah, in this case,
Just because there's so many shapes. There's like, in addition to just like the Shampon we saw there, it also deals into like Penshan and Kanchan. So
the only shape it doesn't deal into is the Diamond or Summon Shan.
yeah, just kind of be a little more cautious before you push the 3 or the 7 Suji.
Yeah, but in this case, ended up saving 2,800.
Yeah, the south would have been the more expensive end, for sure.
Home.
And the alternative option was just to completely bail.
Yeah, it was a 2 Shanten hand. I might have just cut the 6-0.
After that win, Ryan will hold the dealership. Currently 2 away from Tempai with chance at 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku and Ipeko.
Quite a strong hand here.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Really nice draw.
Shanta now. We just need a 5 mon or a 5 so. Ideally, the 5 so.
Nice 3-mon
Chi.
Sakagiri, recognizing that the blocks in the hand are set.
Chi.
And so you can just discard the more dangerous 3-mon first.
Tucker has called into Tempai already very early on. It's 6-9 pin. And sometimes, an early 2-call hand, you don't expect to be Tempai. You still think they're searching for tiles. But after discarding 8 mon, 5 pin, 5 mon, you might begin to think that it could be a
Chi.
Honitsu even with a Haku cut.
Now we have a second Tempai waiting on the 2-pin that just came out.
Sanchoku Dora 1 is that hand for Garth.
Yeah.
That is not an upgrade to the way we need Sanchoku as the Yaku. Oh, Tempai.
Yeah. Beach.
Considering perhaps whether to Dama this hand, but the 2 players open, they're extremely vulnerable to this Ricci.
And the other thing is usually prefer Ricci, these like Sanshoku Takame hands, because I want to win on these like the Yasume Eitsu and still be happy.
Mm-hmm. Even if you don't get the tile you want, at least you've Ricci'd, so you have a chance of
Yeah, and then
Yeet.
like Ricci Pinfu, you hit one Ura, you're happy anyways.
Daniel smashes right back. Ricci Pinfu Dora 1, waiting 2-5 pin. Oh,
Sumo.
but Ryan gets it. The
Takame
Takame.
Sumo here.
Sanchoku added to the tally. No,
Ura
but
for the Hanemon.
all the games that we've seen today, it seems to be one person taking control. We had Kayla the first game, Andrew the second game, Garth the third game, and now Ryan. Just absolutely. We're only in East 2, repeat 1, but 48,000 points already.
See what he can do with this high pie. Kind of looks like it can sometimes become Honitsu if you pair up one of these honor tiles, otherwise could also still be a more standard hand. I'm just going to just start by cutting the
Boom.
Yakuhai. And that is called by Garth here. He's going to just try to go for a quick Hatsu hand.
Similarly, Daniel on the right can call on the White Dragon should it ever leave Ryan's hand.
It's a hand that you could go either way for me if you want to call Haku here. It's one of those hands that doesn't have another pair, which makes calling the Haku a bit weaker. Now I suppose you do have 7 pin as a possible pair, although you kind of want to use that as a Ryamen shape.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Daniel can always pass the first one.
East call chance here.
Tucker
Calling.
thinking.
It's kind of awkward because you don't really have another pair again.
You don't really want to drop the Dora. Oh, it's a Dora Talkie play.
Does seem like that, although if you draw the 6-9, so I think you just take Tempai.
Yeah, these cuts definitely indicate that the plan, at least, to draw Dora or wait on it in the future.
Nice Conchon fill here for dealer. Let's advance the hand a bit. I'll see if okay, now keeps the 1 so.
Ooh, 8-pin draw. Fills in one of the Conchon shapes. But Daniel really wants to be able to use both Dora here.
Earth has managed to make it a Tempai here. Just waiting on 4-7 pin for the Hatsunomi.
Oh, these tiles are very locked up. The only issue will be if Tucker ever draws a 2-so. That 7 will probably be coming out, but in the meantime, pretty secure in hand.
The Ryamen picked up here, but I guess you already... Oh, cuts Haku. Haku was your only pair, so I don't really like going back a Shanten. You were just Ryamen E Shanten before Haku cut. Well, immediately found a 6-pin pair, although that does mean the 7-pin might deal in.
Dong.
But not before Tucker, who did draw the Dora. Gets the win here for the Tom door 2.
That took so many swings. After cutting or before cutting the pair, it looked like Daniel was going to deal in with a 6-9, and then drew out of it, but probably was going to deal into Garth with the 7-pin, and then Garth draws the 9-pin and deals in instead.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel's dealership, East 3. Clean slate.
Pretty quick hand, although the shapes aren't great. You do have a penchant and a conchon you need to fill.
It's one of those hands that I want to turn into Tanyo.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. And actually, it does seem like that's going to be the play here if the 8 so cut. Keeping the east, trying to get the double east, I suppose. I do like the double east. I don't like it so much that I would break a penchant for it normally. But I suppose wants to try to avoid a Richinomi.
Yeah, maybe if your shapes are weak enough, you can say, well, I want all the shapes I can get then. Or you can say, I want all the callable tiles.
Well, has managed to find an Ishan 10 regardless here. It was the other thing is that it did have 6 blocks. So breaking away 1 block from 6 blocks is can sometimes be... It's definitely preferable to cutting away from 5 blocks. Another chance for Garth to call Yakuhai, and is going to take it. Calls into Ishan 10.
That's Dora 1. 2,000 points, presumably. Interesting hand for Tucker. If it weren't for the 677 shape in the Sozio, I might be thinking about Chinitsu.
See what the draws are. There's another Mon tile. I mean, if you just draw nothing but Monzu, could end up happening here. Is currently Ishan 10 though.
Yeah, you could draw something like 2 Mon here and cut the 7, so. And then maybe 1 more Mon tile and just convinces you to commit.
We do also have Ishan 10 on the left with door 2 in hand as well. Would really like to shift to a Tanyao. I might even keep the 3-pin around. Even though there's like a 30-10 chance on the 1-pin, I just really want any tile that can shift me into a Tanyao. Because I don't want to get stuck on this 8-pin Kanchan, ideally.
Pretty awkward draw for Tucker. Chooses to go with the 8 Mon, holding the Jiankhan and the Manzu, and also the very nice 6777 so shape that can accept the 5 so, 6 so, and 8 so.
That was Tenpai, right? So could have just Richi'd, but it would have been Richinomi.
Yeah, just
so
on the
trying
5
to
Mon.
incorporate the Dora.
Each.
Daniel that will take the Richi here. Richi Tanyao did upgrade with the 8-pin draw.
5-pin's a really ugly Ipatsu draw here. And Tucker's just gonna like start off the 8 Mon here.
Yeah, if Daniel had taken the original Richi 5-pin would deal, and as is, the 7-pin is now the deal in time. There are only 2 of those left in the wall. In the meantime, Garth is Tenpai on 4-7, so although most of those are being held.
This is Tenpai with door 2. See if we see a Richi on the 8-pin. There's still looks like 3 in the wall. Well, you can only see one of them. And well, it looks like Garth is the one to take it here.
Yeah, the final.
So Hatsu, door 1, and 2 sticks as well. Finally, Garth wins one of these Yakuhai calls.
And it's really nice bonus. Your hand's not that expensive. The sticks doubled the value.
Yeah, and then also not having to pay out a Tsumo to one of those Richis. Definitely a good feeling there.
Tucker probably feeling pretty good about this high pie.
Yeah, for sure here. Probably just gonna look to call for maybe just a quick Hatsunomi, but if you do end up drawing like 7-8 so, there is a possible like Sanshoku Dora. But I think 9 so might just come out.
Yeah, it's really awkward because 9 so is your Dora connecting tile, but it's just the most efficient cut.
Yeah, just take the widest 2 Shanten, I think.
Garth with okay shapes and 2 Dora, notably. Could transform that into a Tanya.
Get another Yakuhai as well, so can go for... There's multiple Yaku chances for open hands here with the Sanshoku and the Yakuhai.
Oh yeah, for Ryan across the way.
Oh, sorry, for Ryan. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong hand here.
It will be hard to use that.
Oh, con chance.
Do we just...
I think it's a good con. It's 32 Fu. 32 Fu is a lot of Fu.
It holds off for now.
Chi.
I suppose 9mon's twice cut. I really don't like holding all 4 like Hatsu. It's just pretty inefficient. You're kind of just throwing away a tile. That's not helping your 2 Shanten. So I really
I think
would
we're
prefer
gonna.
Khan.
Oh, let's go.
32 Fu is basically an entire Han.
Yeah, I did say it was gonna be hard for Ryan to use the door, and then he drew 7-0 and then a 6-0. And just like that, door incorporated. Meantime, Garth is pressing forward, opening for this Tanyao. Ishanten. Ishanten as well for Daniel on the left. Oh, door draw. So that's going to shift this into a Tanyao as well. Tucker still with these awkward Kanchan shapes, looking for an improvement and not willing to take this con.
Still, yeah, like at this point we're just sacrificing like a fair bit of efficiency by not conning. I think you either gotta just con or throw the Hatsu. Because we're just like losing 8-pin draw at this point.
홈.
I guess now we cut Hatsu. No. I suppose it's gonna con next turn.
That seems like the plan if the 7-pin is cut here. It is Ishanten.
But it's like by waiting now we don't have the 7-pin in hand. No, it's gonna I guess going for Rinshan?
Maybe at this point
Gonna
he's
wait the whole
concerned
time?
that it's too late. A Rinshan is a rare Yaku. Would love to see it. All right, is this
Oh,
it?
here
Is
we
this the
go.
moment?
This is when you con.
Last 4-pin in the wall.
We waited this long. Come on.
Ah.
All right, there we go. Another 8-so.
Oh my goodness. All of a sudden, Garth's just got a monster over there. Calls that 5 into Tempai, but deals it with a 4.
It's gonna deal in.
What a timely con. 2,900, a 1 in 60, as you said, that all that extra food. 32 added to the 20 for the open hand. Rounds up to 60. Basically a 2 in 30 hand for Tucker. Ends up winning the hand and approaching the 30,000 mark.
Garth had the chance between the Ryamen and the Intotsu and opted for the Ryamen and unfortunately did end up dealing in there.
Yeah, it
just,
makes...
just after getting the door 4.
When you need Tanyao, the Yamen makes a lot of sense there.
Oh, right. I forgot the hand was Tanya, of course. So, didn't really have much of a choice, I suppose.
Paid Nudora, we only see 1, that's in the hand to the left. That is the north player, but Daniel only with a singleton there. Might call the Haku and plan on a door tank in the future. I say that, and then Ryan picks up the second of the north wins.
Go for a pretty quick 2 Shanten here. He's maybe just looking at like a Ricci Pinfu.
Although I guess
1 pin
Pinfu
draw across the way.
is going to be a little bit difficult there.
홈.
High call again?
Garth again, going for the Yakuhai.
Yeah, where in the last game Garth was calling to shut down and confirm the first place. In this case, it's to stave off 4th place. There's only 900 points separating the two. At some point, Ryan might have to just consider tossing the Dora here.
Yeah, this might be the turn. Nope, gonna hold on to it for now.
Oh, the
Discards
5
the
so. That's discarding the only pair in the hand, which makes me think that Ryan's plan is to Ricci on the door itself.
Yeah. It's not. I don't really count it as a pair because it's kind of like an Arya min shape. So it's a good shape to find a pair, but you don't necessarily like lose a Shanten like you would with cutting a different pair.
Right.
We do have Dama Ipeko here. Ipeko Nomi.
1.
Wait 1 turn. There it is.
Wait 1 turn.
Wait, actually,
Katakiri.
so how did Pinfu chance? No, sorry, it wasn't Pinfu because Haku.
Yeah.
Huh.
That poses some question marks to Garth, who plays the Suji 1 mod. Terminal Suji tiles, you know, we're talking about good Suji versus bad Suji. Terminal Suji typically pretty strong.
I wonder if you're supposed to... I think you're supposed to Tsumogiri Ricci. Because Ryan did actually cut the 7 so. The turn before.
Oh, I see. I don't... Yeah. I wonder if the table would be That
I don't know.
observant.
It can't
I mean,
hurt.
I'm honestly, I'm not always paying attention to that either.
I
But yeah,
guess
if
I guess it makes it a little more suspicious of the wait around the final 6. So I don't know. I don't like waiting one turn. I think just make up your mind. Just reachy something right away. I'm not a fan of the wait one turn.
there is one tile in the wall to be drawn. Tucker, as dealer, of course, wants to continue playing free
相撲
hand. Doesn't matter. Just sumo, Richi, sumo,
Well, there you go. Got the extra Han because of the Peko.
No Uda, but that will put Daniel into second place, just barely pulling ahead of Tucker as a result of the Oyakaburi penalty. You just pay a little bit more as dealer, 2,000 versus 1,000 there, and so it'll be Garth's dealership in fourth place, but it's only South 1.
Does start again with Yakuhai.
I
And
sometimes
looks like a good hand to call for Yakuhai.
you're just given callable hands. What are you gonna do? Not call?
Does have a door as well. In pretty good shapes if the East does come out. On the left, Tucker draws another Yakuhai. So now has 2 Yakuhai pairs. You kind of want to usually look to go Honitsu. I don't think that hand in particular is going to be able to because like you have strong tiles in all 3 suits. So probably just going to try to be some sort of Yakuhai or maybe both Yakuhai 2 if you get both of them. Also has the door 3 so.
Everyone else will just playing pretty standard here. Nothing too spectacular going on.
Here it might be the first. Okay, well, it's gonna start with a 6-0. Just because I guess they're thinking that the blocks are pretty set here, so we can just sort of hold the safer south. We just have the Hatsu called, so first Yakuhai called, and then decides to break the Manzu Kanchan, keeping the door Kanchan, of course. And there's the second call, which doesn't change the Shanten, but does move it to headless and give you another Han. Also sets up a door Tonki wait for Mungan if you want to try that.
It's quite funny seeing the 3-so Dora reveal itself very soon after both pawns were made. It's Tucker playing shifting who's drawing
Here's an
these tiles.
East, so oh sorry, well they're not gonna come out yet. Cuts actually the 1-so. Does mean that if Tucker draws 4 or 5 pen is no longer Tenpai. And also would have been Tenpai in the 1-so draw, but either way. Interesting 7-mon draw. Yeah, he's gonna cut the 2-so here.
With all
to
these,
make 3-so
Each.
pair after the East call if that ever comes out, but we have a Richi first. Now let's see if Garth wants to call. With door 2, absolutely. Calling into Ishan 10 here. Defending the dealership.
Tucker drew a terrible tile in the 6-so after this Richi.
Well, how much do you want like door Tonki? Are you willing to push 6-so?
Yes. The answer is yes. Now, all the 3-so held, so Tucker cannot win here.
3-mon draw. Hand on the right. Yeah, just gonna try to defend here. Nice dodge on the 3-mon. Chance to shift to a Nobuton wait. Oh, Tenpai for Garth. 2 5-pin.
And the 3-6-mon is dying. There's no 6-mon left. There's only one 3-mon in the wall.
Garth happy to push here. Ryamen door 2 as dealer. Just gonna fight here.
Versus the 2 5-pin, which has 1 each.
Keeps drawing dangerous tiles, but yeah, just gonna go ahead and push everything.
And there's the tsumo.
And there's rewarded with the tsumo.
2,000 all plus the Richi stick, and Garth climbing right back into second place and retains the dealership.
All right, so really big win there for Garth. Aggressively defended the dealership with the door pair, and it definitely worked out. There was a lot like chances to try to consider folding, but just stayed true to the course and got the win there in the end.
This time, no
Now
Yaku
has
High
a
pair.
Tanya looking high pie here.
Yeah, but no Yaku High
Or
doesn't mean it's not
19.
callable.
No, yeah, just yeah, Yaku High tried Tanya. Those two.
Obviously, Ryan on the right going for Sancho Kudoko with the ones.
Yes. I was trying to figure out what that hand was, but
Very
of course
clear, very
you spotted it.
Mm-hmm. Toyman with another Tanya looking hand. That's Daniel across the way. Actually, technically Ishantan. Although the final weight there is probably going to be a little awkward. If
Yeah, you don't really want to pawn. I mean, I suppose you can pawn and then cut 8 mon, and you're still just waiting on 6 either way. Well, here's just Tempai. And then I think turn 5 Ricci. Oh, it's actually gonna, it's just gonna wait 1 turn again.
I don't think it's gonna be a 1 turn actually. I think Daniel's gonna wait for even a Kanchan over this Shabo. I mean, Suji Shabo weight is just so I don't
We'll
know.
see. Let's see what happens.
All right, is the wait 1 turn?
1
Oh, it was. All right, we've learned something. Daniel is a wait 1 turn believer. Tucker, of course, calling the pay with 2 Dora in hand. Tempai winning 1 pin, 4 pin. There are 3 tiles left for Tucker's weight. Ooh, could have switched to Shabo there with potential Mungon, but chooses to just hold the current shape.
Yeah, I think the better weight here is probably more important. You also have 40 Fu, so this is going to be 52.
Yeah, that's a good point with the Anko of the 9 Mon. I was going to ask if you'd con that, but the last 9 Mons in Daniel's hands, so not going to happen.
Not a con I would recommend.
Conning for an extra hun? Well, instead, just Sumo. That's pretty good too.
So that moves Tucker back up above 30,000 here.
Yeah, that's pretty big here. Right back into second place, and we go into South 2, Ryan's dealership. Chun is the Dora.
I'd say probably definitely below average hand, but at least does have some okay shapes. Far away, 789 Sanshoku. It's got 2 chances at a Yaku High. Yeah, 6 mon is a really nice draw there. Now you have a pretty nice 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 9 shape.
I feel like it's been a while since we've really looked carefully at Ryan's hands because the other hands have been so fast. And Ryan's been in this lead the whole time, hasn't really had to do anything. Just chill. Let these other players fight it out. We're at 42,000 points. But now as the dealer, the focus is a little bit more on his hand. It's a good opportunity to increase the score line, just maybe not the high pie to do it. On the right though,
You
that's
have a pretty quick hand from Daniel though, so we'll see how much time Ryan has.
yeah, just
Garth also with an interesting hand here, drawing another Hatsu. So has 2 Yakurai pairs, one of them with the Dora Chun.
However, the Hatsu has been cut and is the door indicator, so that would have to be a pair in the hand.
Could actually, yeah, with these discards, definitely looks like it could turn into Honitsu. Yeah, I wonder what happened when 6-5 Mon came out, because it looked like that was a cut Ramen. I didn't actually make it look all the way over to Garth's hand in time to see what happened when that was cut. If I had to guess, it was probably before Chun got paired up, and was maybe trying for like a Chanta play or something at that time.
Well, here's a chi that
See
you
if
can
Garth
see
wants
whether
the
you're
chi.
voting for Honitsu or Chanta.
It's just gonna cut the dead Hatsu pair. You do already have, you kind of just had too many pairs. You had like the Chun pair and the Wonso pair and just the dead Hatsu pair. And so that kind of like dead third pair really didn't offer much to the hand.
Right, at that point you're relying on the last Hatsu and then a Dora to come out, which is already difficult enough.
Yeah, there wasn't even another Hatsu is the thing. That was just
Sorry,
that was the dead pair.
The Wonso and the Chun is what you're looking for.
Right, yeah.
Ooh. Non or
Naimon
chance?
wants to be held. I think it's between Naimon and South. Gonna cut the South.
We're not completely done with the Chanta ideas.
Well, Ryan Ishan 10 and also Daniel still Ishan 10 here. 7 pin does improve the Ishanten a fair bit because in addition to adding like 7 pin, you also get the 8 mon Ipeko Tempai.
And notably, no 8 mana are out, although we do know where they are, if all 4 are being held. In the meantime, Garth will draw into Tempai and will not take it.
Uh,
He's playing for
huh.
Sanchoku.
I
So,
suppose just really didn't believe could find the tune.
and maybe because it's this late into the hand, like we're in the 3rd row now.
It's kind of unlikely it gets discarded, but like first of all, someone might just discard it if they have like a strong hand. Oh yeah, and this is the other thing, right? Like sometimes you just sumo tune.
Dong.
Yeah, sometimes
Well,
you
it
get the
doesn't
row.
matter because Nymon comes out anyways. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of surprised that the Tempai wasn't taken, but it didn't end up mattering. Garth gets the win anyways, and that's actually a huge direct hit. Garth is much, I think, was probably happier with the direct hit, at least if
Oh,
you're playing for
absolutely.
first.
You can totally play for first now.
Here's a strong hand now for Daniel, who was unable to win that last hand. Looked like he had a good
Boom.
shot, but now definitely a snap off an East call and is playing for Honitsu here. Could be Yakuhai Honitsu for the 12,000 point hand, and that's the comeback that Daniel would need here.
We could see scores normalize very quickly. That's not the draw we're looking for.
It's gonna cut the south. South's the door indicator. Honestly, I don't even want 4 or 5 pin. I see a hand like this. This is my comeback hand. I want 12,000 points here. I don't want like Tone Nomi. I think Tone Nomi here is just a waste of this hand. Well,
Yep, it's Tonomi,
I guess here we are.
whether you like it or not. Now, if the Haku comes out, you can still pull. Oh, the
Dong.
5's gonna come
Yeah,
out
this
first.
Tone Nomi. Yeah, 2,000 points. I don't know. I guess you take it.
Slowly but
Let's get into the
surely,
dealership.
inching your way up to the 30,000 mark.
Well, now we have Tucker with the strong hand here. Already Ishan 10. He does have E2 chance. Yeah, especially I really like 7 pin discard because you kind of need a pair here if you want to get the E2 chance. And so it recognizes that 2 pin could actually become that pair. Like if you draw well, it's kind of tough because maybe if you draw 4 6 pin, you actually just cut 2 pin anyways, because then you have such a wide headless. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see for that one. Garth making improvements in his own hand. 3 mon for Tucker
3 mon
isn't
drawn.
exactly.
I think just 2 pin for me. You take Ishan 10 for sure. Oh, Tsumugiri, we don't take Ishan 10. And 3 mon also let you accept it like
Right.
Dora for like Ipeko Pinfu Dora.
Interesting spot for sure. That might be a good one to. What would you discard later?
Yeah, I think 2 pin. I think it's 2 pin or 1 3 pin. In between those, I prefer 2 pin. Another one so drawn. Okay, well, this hand is coming together here now with a headless Anko Ishan 10. So, nice Ishan 10 for Daniel.
Each.
Quality weight no matter what happens, but instead.
With the Kanchan fill here to get the Ricci Pinfu Dora on 2 5 pin weight.
To replace out the terminal Suji. Might be able to lock in the 2 pin as the pair if this hand becomes pushable.
Each.
Now here's Tempai, and this is going to be chased here. 1 4 pin weight.
Daniel not hesitating in this Ricci. No waiting around
Yeah, I don't think you can afford a Dama here. Yes, it's Genbutsu weight, but I think you want to try for more than just Pinfu Nomi here. Ricci Pinfu Ura 1. You're like Ipatsu. The 2 pin comes out here, so he's gonna deal into the 3 Han hand here. No Ura, but that does drop Garth now down into 3rd place and below 30,000. So it is a bit of a painful dealing.
Right, picking back a little bit of revenge from that Mongon dealing earlier. It sends us into all last.
Home.
Tucker, see if wants to go for Honitsu or not. Well, it's gonna start just as south. You don't have to commit to anything.
Yeah, not notably giving up the south and not the Daisongan chance.
Yes. I think you can also consider Onso there
Mhm.
before cutting a Yakuhai. Like the 1-so and the 1-4-4, so I think even if you're thinking about Honitsu, can be weaker than the Yakuhai tile.
Yeah, especially because we have two 4-sos.
Cuts the 1-so now.
No one's got a Dora. Ooh,
Is
another
it-
9-so.
This is Ishan 10 now for Tucker.
Seems to be planning to just repeat here as dealer.
There is a chance this becomes Toy Toy if you do find another pair.
Like
And there
this
is
pair?
another pair, so we cut 7-so here. Or even just 3 fin.
Ooh,
And
okay.
now we have, like, definitely head towards Toy Toy, but also, I suppose, could become a Honitsu.
Yeah, I mean, imagine
I'm
3-so
thinking,
chi.
like, 8-so is, or 6-so maybe, you would cut 4 pin 4. I guess 6-so would
Could
just be
even
Tenpai, so that
pawn
one's
the
a bit
9-so there. Would you
trickier.
have gone that route?
I would not pawn 9-so. I don't think it
Chi.
helps a lot. Because, like, you're already Ishan 10 for Toy Toy, which is the same value.
There's the
See if Tucker just wants to
3-so.
chi for the Haku Nomi. That's what he's thinking about here.
Could also just 3-so
Kind of
over
want
and
to.
cut the 4-pin
Yeah,
pair.
you could do that for sure.
Your
Chi.
I
tile
don't know if
acceptance
that's
is pretty reasonable, but just takes the tempo.
no. It's just Nomi. I feel like if you chi, you're probably supposed to take Tenpai because like you already had the Toy Toy chance. I don't know. Is the Honitsu easier than the Toy Toy? It goes. Nah, maybe it is because of the 7999 shape, like you were saying. Yeah, that is an interesting idea actually. Maybe Chica 4-pin there is not bad.
In the meantime, Garth is building this
Yeah, Garth's
potential show
steadily picking up
sushi.
more and more wins here.
Is it live? It's
Boom.
the East.
8-pin. We'll see what happens. Let's see. South is once cut. Does Garth dream?
There's one
That'd be.
west.
I want to see.
There's two
Like,
north.
what happens if we get another wind pawn?
Yeah, exactly. Do we just take the Tempai, try to make it over 30,000, or do we go for it all? This is all of a sudden become very exciting. But there's a Sanzo, and I have the feeling it's coming out. That will end the dreams. Yeah,
Well, I guess better to win Haku Nomi than Toyo's covered Yakuman.
yeah. I mean, we were so invested in the route that Tucker's hand was taking that all of a sudden Garth's
Garth's just
showing
like
show
steadily
sushi.
drawing more and more wins over there.
But the dealership continues. Tucker, 32,000 now. Only 7,600 away from tying Ryan for first. Another couple of honor pairs.
Bit of a Toitsuba round here. We got three pairs for dealer, 4 pairs on the right, 4 pairs across for Toyman. Which also has the Chun pair.
And as you're saying that, Garth drew the 5th pair.
Boom.
I really want Garth to draw 7 months so we can dream of Dianpeko.
Sixo gives the Entotsu shape over there to Daniel, who's trying to escape out of 4th here. Cut the 9. Yeah, I guess never had a 9-so pair. It's kind of hard for that hand to have enough value. So it's looking like Richi Nomi right now for Daniel.
At that point, it might not be so bad that if Tucker were to win this hand, because Richinomi isn't going to get you anywhere without hitting some Uda.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can hit Chun, right? Like Richi, Chun, Sumo, or a 1. Gets you out of last.
There's that 7-mon, but Garth playing for Tanyao, not a pair's
Well, now you have
hand.
Sanshoku. Oh, that was your value. You need the Sanshoku there.
Yeah, it looks like
this is definitely the time for value.
Daniel's definitely focusing on the south as the route to value.
Yeah. I think the Sanshoku is the easier route though.
because it was confirmed, either you get Tenpai for Sanchoku or you don't get Tenpai.
Yeah. I think 5 so is pretty reasonable there. Just I'm Sanchoku. This is what I am.
Tucker here doesn't get the Toy draw, so just waiting on the Hatsu, which is in the wall, both of them. Forso will not deal in here. There's one of the Hatsu. Ryan scans the board and says, I can't see any.
And dealer has called the Shaw and the 9-mon. Neither of those are Yaku.
A greedy player might
Could have
cut
gone
the
Toy.
yeah 5-pin 6-pin shove for Toy, but it's probably too late to that. We're already into row 3 now.
Also, unfortunately, the pairs were like really bad, like 4-pin 4-so.
Right.
Not really the tiles you want to Toy with.
And then just 6-pin's like, are you sure? Are you sure you didn't want a Toy? Yes, very sure. Still one more huts in the wall. I mean, Ryan's playing around. He's Ishanten.
Sumo.
But Tucker will sumo and reveal that. It was a good hold by Ryan to not deal that in. A direct hit would have been pretty relevant here. Instead, it'll be Tucker inching closer once again. We'll see another repeat.
This hand's kind of a mess. It's pretty terrible. See what Tucker can do. But looks pretty slow. Let's see, can Daniel get some value with this hand? You could try to pick up Dora. There's maybe like a 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku. I mean, that you don't have to necessarily get out of 4th, but it'd be nice to have a hand that at least has a chance to do it.
Alright, Yako high paired.
Yaga high paired. Do we even call Hatsu? I guess you do as dealer.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, here's the chance. Even Tucker like hesitated a little bit. Like, do I even want to call Yaka high?
These shapes are
yeah,
terrible.
kind of have to.
If you're not calling, there's a very, very low chance that you're winning.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at Garth's draws and see if those would have fit into Tucker's hand. 7 so would have.
And well, does find another block here, so it does at least have all 5 blocks for Tucker. Unfortunately, none of them are good shape. It's Kanchan's all the way down.
Yeah, Ryan across the table is probably hoping to get his Yaku high call. Doesn't even care if he has to drop the door for his hand.
Well, there's another draw to the 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku for Daniel. It's starting to become a little more visible.
Of course, Daniel really looking for Mongon.
I guess Chun Cut is just a play for Pinfu here. Really did kind of instantly cut that Chun.
I think Daniel's just planning to cut it, and the second Chun is drawn, but the tile is already clicked.
Oh, that could have. It was very fast discard. That might have been. Because I was like a bit surprised that 1-mon didn't come out before Chun pair.
And Tucker's like, do I get rid of my save tile to hold the extra efficiency? And decides against it.
Yeah, I think holding a safe tile here is okay. Like, this hand as dealer is pretty bad. Might as well Chi. Or Ishanten. Still all bad shapes. You'd love at least like one Ryomen in this hand, but it just has never happened for Tucker.
Bad shapes know me. Garth Ishanten with good shapes. And
yeah, there's all the good
better
shapes.
value. Ryan
6 also a nice fill here.
Ooh. Ryan gives up on the Haku, says, you know what, at this point I don't think I'm getting it. And I'll take my chances with the 8 so instead.
Yeah, 9 so being Doro makes a lot of sense.
Interesting cut here by Garth choosing the 3-mon. I suspect it's to slightly increase the chance that you end up with a Tanya shape.
Yep, that is the idea. This way you can pawn.
And although you're not going to pull the 8
so
because the 8 so is dead, you at least get the 4 so.
I guess that would mean like you just, if you win the hand like just Tanyo Nomi, it would just be like securing a negative third, but that might be all Garth is looking to do.
Just draw Dora.
Eat.
Solve your issues. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1. This will be enough to get over 30,000.
Sumo would be 78 difference. Is that enough? Not quite enough. Oh, with a Ricci stick, it is enough. So Sumo is enough for Garth to Gyuk 10, I believe.
Two Mon.
Direct hit also should be enough.
Does Tucker give
If it
up
comes
this time
out.
by...
And it
No.
does come out. So I think this Gyuk 10's here.
We could just hit Uda and save the trouble. Ooh, it was going to be close.
So yeah, we do see that Garth overtakes Tucker there. And to jump all the way up from a negative third to a positive second. So pretty nice swing there from Garth.
Ryan does end up taking the first, plus 24.1. Tucker does finish in the positives, over 30,000, so plus 0.2. And the player who's hoping for Uda the most was probably Daniel, who, unfortunately, as a result of that direct hit, will be the only player below 30,000, and thus take the minus 20 UMA. But respectable game from Daniel, only taking minus 30 here instead of something much larger, which is usually the case when you're the only player below 30,000.
Yep.
And that is the final. Oh no, they're playing again.
They're going again. They're running it back here.
I thought
It
they
was
were
pretty
playing
quick games. I think both those games felt pretty quick.
Okay. Well, I'm down to watch some more from this table if you are.
Yeah, this has been fun.
All right. Well, it will be a few minutes before they are live. We have to accommodate the delay. So let's take a quick little break here. We'll be back in 2 or 3 minutes for the third game from this table. All right, welcome back, everybody. Here for the third game. This very interesting B2 table. It's B2 night. It's been B2 night. And we've had some really awesome games. Thanks for joining us. We do have the changes to the B2 standings visible now. Josh has finished all 4 games of his series, finishes with plus 54.4. Great start to the session. Gauhan as well, plus 47.5 in second place overall. But Garth is chasing both of those players down with these first 2 games. Now into the 3rd game of the series, starting out as the dealer. Calls the
guess what he has again here. the Yaku High pair here.
It could
Door
be
pair as well.
Yeah, Yakuhai Dora 2. Could be Toy Yakuhai Dora 2.
Definitely could be. If you draw, just pair up any tile. Could have been 5 mon. Fortunately, it's hard to know. Well, now you have the awkward Yamen that's waiting on the 9 mon you pawn, but you keep it.
Let's see. Looks like this table said it will be their last game. So it'll also be our last game, but hopefully it's a good one. We see a Ricci from Daniel. Early Ricci. Ricci Dora 1 waiting 6-9 pin. 5 tiles left in the wall, which is more than you're expecting given the fact that you can see the first 3 tiles discarded on the table. There's no one's holding the other winners.
There's a chance to cheat here, but Garth is not going to take it. Not that committed to this door to Yakuhai Aruzuke. And could have cheated. Instead, he pots Sumo here.
It will be the full Mongon as well. It always feels so bad when you had the opportunity to break the pots. You said, nah, it'll be fine. And then Ipatsu Sumo happens and you...
Yeah, I don't like cheating just for the sake of breaking Ipatsu, but that was a call that could have potentially advanced the hand as well if you still want to try to win.
Mm-hmm.
But Garth, giving up a draw if your goal is to just like fold out the hand can be pretty tough, especially after you've already opened the hand.
Right.
It can already be pretty difficult to fold. So understandable that he passed, but ended up getting the Ipatsu Sumo there.
And it shifts us into Ryan's dealership. Dora in hand, 1 completed shape, 2 completed shapes in a pair. Would love to either draw the 2 myself or get a better shape around this Dora. Because I hate waiting on the Dora indicator as a Kanchan.
Yeah, it's definitely not the ideal weight. Funnily enough, there's also across the way, Tucker also waiting on the 2-mon Kanchan here.
Everyone wants it, even the hand that's Ishanten on the right.
This 2-mon is in demand here.
There is only 1 2-mon left in the wall, so the wall chooses to give it to. It's going to have a significant advantage here. Of course, Garth on the left, the only player that doesn't really need the 2-mon, and has Tanyao shapes, but there's a lot of Kanchans there.
Also gives his hand another Anko. Let's cut the 1-so here. It doesn't prove this is quite a wide Ishanten here. The 2-mon draw would be unbelievable.
Yeah, what a sick weight that would be.
Yeah, get the nice 4-sided weight there.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess like some of the weights are kind of dead. There's only like 1/8, so actually all the rest look pretty good.
Daniel, just a matter of time, really, before he finds Tempai. Kind of amazing he hasn't gotten it yet with the multi-sided weight in the Sozo as well, and the ability to open up on the Chun. All those tiles just being held or buried in the wall. Well, Garth finds a pair and has the option to discard a Kanchan, but chooses to just aim for the Tanyao. In the meantime, Ryan draws into Tempai. Do we take that 2-mon Ricci?
Here we go.
6-0 for the extra foo. Let's go.
There it is.
Oh, immediate chase.
Immediately chased. Waiting on 2-mon in addition to 5-mon. We kind of predicted this. Everyone just needs this 2-mon.
Okay, looks like there are 2 of them in the wall, as well as 2 5-mon. So definitely the advantage Daniel. Both hands with Ricci Dora 1. So maybe with the value-wise slight edge to Ryan as dealer. Yeah, Tucker drawing the 5 mon means that's pretty well solidified in hand.
It's just a battle for the 2-mon now. Can we
Choose-
somehow see, like, is there a world where Tucker waits on Tuso as well? That's what I want to see. It would need to be like...
Eat.
Another 5 mon draw.
Oh,
we'll do
here's
it.
another Ricci. This one not waiting on the 2-mon.
A 3/6.
Gonna be a 3/6.
There, no Dora left, but 1/6 mon.
This is a Tempai draw.
No.
Oh, and the 2 comes out. No! The double roam.
3,900 for the dealer plus all the sticks.
Yeah, dealer clicks all the sticks.
2,600 for Daniel. All in all, not too bad for a double row near Dora. Of course, Tucker was pushing with a Mungun of their own. Ricci, Ipeko Dora too.
2-mon actually wasn't Tenpai. So there was, like, I believe 3-mon was the discard for Tenpai. So tried some Mawashi, just didn't quite work out that time.
Yeah, the alternate Ricci there.
Could
Not much
have gone for the 4-way Ricci battle. That would have been fun. I think there was a safe. Wait, no, because 3-mon would have dealt in.
right.
So I don't think we ever would have got to the 4-way battle.
I guess the other option was a 5-mon Ricci, which just feels worse.
I already forget the hand. It's hard for me to keep the hands.
I believe it was
in my
1 1
head
1
after the
2
next
3
round
3
starts.
4 5 5. Oh wow, Tempai already for Tucker. Does have to drop the Dora for it, but
Boom.
Sanchoku on the 4-pin win. But yeah, no matter how Tucker took Tempai there, it was going to be a deal-in. Pin not live in the wall. The question is, will it trickle out of someone's hand? Same, honestly, for the 7-pin. If Garth finds a pair elsewhere, maybe the 4-pin comes out, but currently that's pretty well locked into hand. Maybe Daniel cuts away from the 7-9 pin if he draws around the Dora. Say, for example, he draws the Dora itself.
Garth had Ishanten, but broke away from it with the 3-5, so with the 4-so being twice cut. I'm trying to find another block in the Monzu instead. Even though there's 30-10 chances, you can always, like, draw 6-mon back, would be ideal.
So amazingly...
Well, how about 6-so? 6-so's not as bad as 4-so. Still doesn't want it, though.
I mean, if we draw the Dora, then we'll hold the So shape. Oh, Daniel does draw into a headless shape and chooses to take that. And that does give Tucker the only chance to win the hand, as all the 4-pin and 7-pin had been drawn. It is 1,000 points cheaper than the other side. And oh my goodness.
I think you can... Oh, wow, yeah.
Where the Haku? Where the Haku? 1 in hand, 2 in the wall.
Garth?
We're doing it again. For those who didn't see...
Also already has a completed Pinzumensu as well.
Yeah, Garth was threatening Sho Sushi in the previous game.
This one looks like a more credible threat here. Looking to go at least for a Honitsu, if
Right.
nothing else. Doesn't want the 4-6-mon Kanchan here. Door pair picked up by Ryan here.
Ryan Ishanten with that Dora pair as well. Can call the East into Tempai with great weight. Or it's just drawn to Tempai.
Wow.
Smash the reach.
And Garth might not have long to build this Yakuban here.
No.
It's like, come on. Give me some more time with my 6th dragon start.
Oh, no.
And here's the Hatsu. Well, Garth might be in trouble here.
Yeah, the only way Garth gets out of this is if he pairs up the East himself.
Yeah.
You have to shove this, right? Surely.
If you're not pushing this, I don't know. I don't know what you are pushing.
5-pin helps.
Yeah, it's gonna be like
West.
probably like West first, but then the
and
East,
then
just
the East
East
has to
here.
come out.
Like East is gonna come out Like, there's the only way is if you draw the final east. It's the only way Garth doesn't deal in here. Or, of course, the hand wins before it comes out.
Each.
Oh, chase from
But... Well,
Daniel.
okay, here's another Ricci. I don't think this helps
Third
Garth,
Ricci?
though.
Third
I feel like
Ricci? What do you
Garth
think,
still might
Tucker?
push.
Tucker choosing whether or not to take the 8 so Ricci for Ricci Nomi?
There's 2 sticks you could try to fight over. You could instead Dama
Damas.
it. Is this gonna be the East? No, 9 so first. Garth still. Oh, go the 8 so.
Tucker's gonna Ricci
Could have been
this now.
Epotzer now Ricci.
Oh, there's
Okay, but now it has a
there's
better
the
weight.
Tucker it's gonna deal it now.
Oh, there's the
Oh,
East. It was gonna happen. Oh man, Garth could have, or Tucker could have stolen all the sticks there if believed in the Kanchan.
Yeah,
Could have got Ipatsu Ricci collect all the sticks.
would you believe in the Kanchan there? Ricci Nomi against Dealer Ricci,
I
no
don't
door
think
visible,
so, no, I would not.
and Garth just shoving everything against the
I don't
Ricci.
think Garth actually had to push anything crazy dangerous.
There are a lot of Mon tiles, but I don't know how bad they were to Ryan.
Yeah.
Wow, what a
I think if
hand.
Garth drew anything like super dangerous, would have just pushed the East before it. Anyways, that was unfortunate. Garth's hand, man, he had it all. It was too slow. He had 8 concealed dragons.
That's insane. Oh, okay. So this was Garth's path to victory. Don't take the Tempai. Drop something like 5 pin, 4 pin from, or 1 pin, 2 pin. Draw the third dragon, Tonki on the east, and sumo that too.
Yeah, I think because the hand already had a Pinzu pair there, right?
No, it was a 3/6 diamond weight.
Oh,
it went to
yeah.
55. That was the only way for Garth to get
That
out
was
of that.
that was maybe there was maybe a chance.
If we're theory crafting, but
Yeah,
the east cut was incredibly natural there.
It was unfortunate.
Some very interesting hands here. A lot of pairs for Dealer, who's planning on Chichoi Dora too. Just needs to find one more pair. And
Looks
hopefully
like
that
it,
be the
yeah.
one. So
5 pairs, no completed blocks, and a Dora. It's like this is just, I think always just a Chitoi commit.
Daniel, with interesting shapes here for Chanta Sandraka maybe, with Dora as well.
Be interesting. Keeps 6 mon. I guess Hatsu is dead, so sure, fair enough. Here's a Tempai now on 3/6 pin. Hatsu Nomi. Not too exciting. Might as well keep the Shaw Anko over the 6 mon that's twice cut in Fritin. I still think the primary plan here from Tucker is going to be Chitoi. Con? No con.
No fun.
From Ryan. Well,
Yeah.
Garth draws the 6 pin and out comes the 3 pin.
So Ryan,
So just 1,000 points.
Ryan's got a pretty big lead here. Doesn't really need to get too crazy with the cons. I mean, if you con and someone reaches, you're in such a rough spot with 3 calls and almost no defense, even if your Tempai is reasonably strong.
Well, pretty strong high pie here for Garth. Already has 2 completed blocks as a door floating tile.
Draw connected to the door and you're
Ryan
set.
as well.
What?
Oh wait, I didn't even get over. How is Tucker double Ricci? I thought Garth's and Ryan's hands were fast enough. I didn't even make it all the way over to Tucker.
Double Ricci, Dora 1, waiting 2 pin. And it's an early enough Ricci that if the 3 pins start to come out, you might be able to build a 1 chance. There's no way it's the 2 pin. The 3/4 came out, right?
Yeah, that's how it works, definitely.
Post Ricci? 100%. Oh, second Dora. Okay. Garth's got something to fight for here. Ishanten.
Garth's last dealership as well. If
Tempai.
there's a way. Oh yeah, now
Just gonna
6 mon.
slam
Here
this.
goes some Chase Ricci.
And 6 pin was Nakasuchi to the first Ricci, so
Definitely doesn't feel good against the dealer Ricci though.
no.
See Daniel just kind of with nothing safe, just chose 8. So actually there is the 6 pin that comes out. So that does deal into the
Ooh.
Garth Scary Ricci. It hits an as well for 12,000. Wow. It's going to be a big swing here.
But just like that, they trade places. I guess not completely. Daniel's still in third here. Oops, we're not off the Guards dealership. Let's hang on right here.
Yeah. Not quite yet. Has got a okay hand here. The Pinzu shapes are pretty nice. And has like 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku chance. Definitely a... Oh, and a 5-mon draw as well here. Now you have 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku chance.
Yeah, looking strong.
5 pins the door as well, so could definitely have an expensive hand here from Garth.
Tucker's probably sitting over there like, I can't do anything more than double reach.
Double Ricci, not enough. But then on the other hand, you're also like, well, at least I didn't deal into that.
Yeah, I mean, the 12K? Okay, fair enough. I've been such an
It's not like Tucker's double Ricci was like crazy strong, so I don't think he needs to feel too disappointed. Although you do feel bad about dropping to 4th.
5, 6, 7, or 6, 7, 8. Maybe we draw an 8-mon, we can start to.
You can shift into either one depending on like what you get here. Is definitely keeping the 5 so around in specifically just for the Sanshoku. Otherwise, could just keep a safer like Chun or East. Well, now we're just gonna Ricci. Dama actually. I suppose the weight's not very good. I don't know. Ricci, as dealer, I feel like I just always Ricci my pinfus.
This is a Ricci on door for Tucker. Should they choose to accept it? Could also like put the 1 pin. No, it just takes the Ricci.
We're gonna see a chase. No, I'm gonna stick with Dama.
Maybe it's because the Dora is the 5 pin, easily usable but not visible yet, and Garth doesn't want to have to draw and discard it.
Yeah, I think the other thing is like just doesn't like the door indicator twice cut 1 pin weight.
We'll continue to shove the 8 pin though. Three pin.
It is still like Ryomen Senpai. So he's willing to do a little bit of fighting.
Speaking of which...
Yeah, here's Tenpai. Shoves the 5-mon.
Oh, there's the Dora.
Well, this is the door. Now do you reach 8 pin? Yes, there it is. We got door now.
And it's a Ricci Tanyao. Oh, 4.
Oh my goodness, that worked out so incredibly well. I would deal in to Tucker instead. Garth, because of the patience,
it's another
accepted the Dora and hit Ipatsu.
And
Wow.
Tucker's like, I keep getting Tenpai, but Garth keeps winning 12,000 points.
That was a very impactful decision to continue with the Dama there from Garth. Got absolutely rewarded.
Just like that, Garth is just outside of range for first place. Ryan has been, relaxing, letting the other players who have better hands fight it out, but now has a battle of his own.
Yeah, Garth closing in here. Up to 43,000. Do we have a couple... I have a lot of Onkos here, actually. Tucker's currently Ishan 10.
Notably, Daniel with a Dora Anko across the table. Might be aiming to get his Mongon back.
I think 7 pin there from Tucker. Maybe...
Yeah. Tucker's trying to find a way to get some more value here.
Oh, I guess.
Pinfu Itsu's
yeah, I think you got to keep 2 pin because 2 pin's like your only pair for Tucker. So you could have been Kutsuki Ishan 10.
Because East is not Yakuhai, Tucker's planning on discarding the East, and then there'll be like 8 pin draw, East cut, or 3 so cut. I guess.
Feel like you probably just have like a significantly wider Ishan 10 after 7 pin. I guess if you're not happy with Ricci Nomi.
I think that's the case.
But I would be fine with Ricci Nomi.
Will we see a con?
Gonna put it off for now. We've seen this a couple times already. Where people just hold all 4 of the tile. I'm not a big fan of it. Just either discard the 8 right away or con. Just choose one of them. I don't like being this indecisive here. Well, we're gonna see her get rewarded here with the 7 so draw. Now you
Maybe.
just have a 7-8 so Ryamen.
Shunten for
Eat.
Ryan, but Tucker does draw the 5 so into Tempai. Okay, that's one way to get there.
There's your pair. You know who needs 2-pin pair? We were just drawing the 5 so pair.
Richie Nomi waiting 3/6 pin. 4 left in the wall. And Garth Ishanten Kutsuki. This is a Tempai, but it's very bad. Garth declines. Now, notably, Daniel is going to push here.
Yeah, Daniel's a pretty good Ishanten. Garth picks up another 3-pin. Takes this Tempai. Does have to push 6 mon? Does push 6 mon. Takes another Dama here. Dama Tanyo.
6 man, not quite Nakasuji there, so was definitely push.
6-pin drawn. See if nice 3 so cut here. It does dodge the deal in, although does sort of strain the 2 so. See how defensive Ryan is going to play here. You can always. I guess you'd have to. Well, now you have Haku. Gets cleared for you.
Garth drawing
Daniel also
tiles.
pushing Ishanten. Daniel with Tempai now.
Eat.
Way almost assuredly.
This is Tanyo door 3.
Now Hanuman chance with the reach.
Is this when you con the 8-so and just be like, nice 8-so 8?
Haku for
Probably
sure.
don't need to do that. You have Haku. No reason to con. You can con, like, let's see, how many draws are there?
He has last draw.
No, you guess it doesn't work out.
So if he wants,
there'd be no reason to con.
If he wants
If
to
there's
give
like,
Garth
if you can deny a draw or something, you can con. Well, Tucker finally wins a Ricci here, and hitting her as well. So denying Daniel that huge, like Ricci Tanyo door 3.
Yeah, would have been a massive comeback hand for Daniel. And that actually puts Tucker pretty close to the 30K mark as well, with 3 dealerships to go. Step 1, get off of Ryan's dealership, get me close to my own. Well, needs a chance for Tucker, perhaps.
You see that call of the Yakuhai, yeah, and
all the blocks are there.
Be heading in that direction for sure.
As dealer Ryan, looking to call the hots here. Daniel with pincher type shapes, 2 door as well.
Another potential hand to make a comeback with.
Garth has a very interesting hand on the left. It's got 4 pairs, but also lots of diamond shapes with 6, 7, 8 Sancho chance.
Yeah, I think 5-pin draw now. You're looking to just go like a Tanyo. Well, I guess you can. Yeah, okay. So gonna cut like the 2-2-1, starting with the 2-pin.
This way, if we draw the 3-pin, we can still make use of the Dora. But if we don't get that, then we can have our Tanyo, Pinfu, Sanchoku.
Another So tile picked up by Tucker. Currently Ishanten. Garth also Ishanten.
Well, the few tiles that Tucker can't call for Tempai. Ooh.
Hatsu Anko.
And now here, Ryan, I wonder if the 7 so is being held out of consideration of Tucker's Onitsu. At some point,
Yeah, because that was Ishanten if you do cut the... Well, I guess you're still Ishan. No, you're still 2 Shanten. You never use Shanten. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's definitely a chance that could be respecting the Honitsu.
Okay, now chooses to get rid of it. And yeah, I don't want to be holding it too late.
Yeah. Especially since you have a pretty decent hand. It's not like I want to just fold this hand.
Right, I mean, you could have Richi, Hatsu, Sanchoku.
I think you cut east here just for the wider Yushanten. But no, respecting the Hon... Well, let's see. East is dead, right? Yeah, East is dead,
safe.
so keeping it as a safe tile.
We do have a Tucker Tempai waiting on 5/8. So, and now a Garth Tempai waiting on 6/9. So all the Sozu tiles very dangerous. Could she into Tempai in the east is your safe tile. 3-sided wait now.
I think possibly Ryan missed 3-4-5 Sanshoku the previous turn.
Oh, 9, so it's not the tile you were looking for. It's probably to come out.
Yeah, it does just immediately come out, and that is unfortunate for Tucker.
No Ipatsu though, there was a chi.
Honitsu Tenpai.
Wow, that puts Garth in first place. What a comeback.
Yeah, really. Ryan looked to be like they had a big enough lead, but turns out that Garth just kept winning hands.
And not cheap ones either.
No, I definitely had 2 12,000 points, and then yeah, now up to 45,000 points.
All right, this is a pretty desperate situation for Daniel, but you have a dealership. That means you have a chance. Hypai is
definitely above average Hypai with the Dora. Some good
Diasha.
shapes. The Manzu needs some help, but yeah, it does at least have one Dora and some nice Pinzu and Sozu shapes.
And we've seen Daniel be able to massage these difficult looking hands into something more reasonable. Could even cut the 6 so here. Just hold all the blocks.
Seeing some pretty fast hands from around the table though. Garth gets a nice 6-pin draw here. Deciding what to cut away from. Goes for the 4-pin. Kind of. I'm not sure why 4-pin.
I guess if you think that Tanya is an option, you might cut the 1 pin instead. If you think maybe Itsu is an option, then you cut the 4 pin.
Suppose maybe it could become Itsu.
Maybe if you drop enough 4 pins, the 3 pin actually looks pretty safe to the board.
That's true as well. I was thinking just keep 4-pin in case you draw Dora. It would be like so nice, but no, I'm not sure. Anyways, we do have a Richi here from Ryan. Already here.
Trying to take back control of this game. Richi Pinfu. The 6/9 weight is being held pretty... A lot of them 6 tiles held, so only 2 left in the wall, 1 of each. Of course, Garth is Ishanten. And this is a battle for first.
Garth's gonna try to fight if he can. Until he draws something too dangerous. Then you could always try like 2-pin kind of Sotogawa. At least the 3-pin came out before the 4, so it's not the best Sotogawa. Well, here we go. Daniel gonna try again. Really needs to win one of these Richis. Has tried a couple and none of them have worked out. And he's actually dealt in, I think, at least on 2 of his Richis.
Right. Again, there's step 1 is get the Tempai, and then you just have to wait to see what the wall gives you. The wall doesn't give you any wins, then there's not much else you can do. This is Tempai for Garth. So Richi Dora 1. We'll take it. This saves him from dealing the 7-pin out. Waiting 1-4 Mon. This weight. 2 left in the wall. Who does the wall favor here? Tucker's just trying to stay out of the way. Tucker, although Ishanten here with chance at 4-5-6 Sanchoku. Even this is technically Tempai and takes it.
Oh my gosh, here we go. We got the 4-way Richi battle.
Who does the wall favor? Tumon is completely dead.
Here in ARML.
It's
we
the
just
9.
Oh no, come on, not again.
First Richi wins. And
Oh, Daniel's Ricci battle luck has just not worked at all this entire series.
the value of Ryan's hand tripled by the Ricci sticks. 2,000 to 6,000, and we're in all last.
Pretty interesting hand for Ryan here with 4 pairs. 2 of them Yakuza. Kind of a nice toy setup. Those are all nice pairs for calling.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see that from Ryan. I mean,
you don't really need a toy, I guess.
right.
You just want Yakuza. It's like, I guess, a reason not to go toy. It's the wrong round for a toy.
Yeah, but much earlier in the game, sure. Even this, yeah, it looks like Ryan's not willing to.
I think you can call 9, so I want to kind of aggressively defend my first. Like, Garth has shown that he can win hands. I don't want to just
Yeah.
trust that someone else will win a hand for me.
Yeah, will Garth be able to steal first place? Gave a fair effort in the last game, although Ryan came out with the win in that one. Tucker, of course, trying to maintain the dealership here with the Tanyao. It's going to be a long way before we get there. But you have to try something.
You do, yeah. Trying to fight. You're not in any immediate danger of dropping to 4th place, so it's free to sort of try to win this dealership.
So. Daniels was looking at a potential Itsu, backed away from it.
Got a pretty cool looking hand here. With, a lot of connected Pinzu tiles. Oh, and another 8-so draw. So now Kutsuki Ishan 10. Probably just going to cut 5 mon. And so now has the Dora and then the 4-5, like a really connected Pinzu shape for quite a nice Kutsuki here.
2-pin draw would be pretty insane.
Yeah, 2-pin draw would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8-pin weight. That'd be pretty cool.
I want to see it. Show us the 2-pin. Tucker kind of correctly giving up on this pin shape. The 3-pin was never going to come out.
You see Daniel trying for a Chitoy here to come back. Hasn't found the Dora, so it is kind of the tell. You could pawn 2-pin that. Oh, actually is going to pawn 2-pin?
Yeah, because we can keep the Dora this way.
Okay, yeah, so
even
now you
2,000 direct isn't enough, though. You need to win on the Dora.
You can win on Dora, and then you would have.
Sumo will be
the
enough.
Fu's enough, so it's 52 Sumo. That's enough. So like Dora.
Oh wait, 26. It's a 26, isn't it, on Ron?
On
no, not
7,
on the 7.
So Ron.
Yeah, that doesn't quite work.
I don't think is enough Fu.
And I doubt Ryan's going to be dropping the Dora here, so.
So I think any
6 so.
Any 6-0? Yeah, because it would be 52. And that's
unfortunately,
enough.
all those 6-0s are locked away. Tucker also tempai on the 6-0.
Daniel did at least find the Dora for the Chitoy, which is, I don't know if it's going to come together though. Also would never win it even if it came there. It's awkward. Oh, it is a con! I guess you don't really want 7-so anyways, I don't know. What would 7-so Tsumo been? That would have been like
2,
26
4, 6,
plus
10.
7 is like 33. Not enough.
I don't even think you get the Fu.
Oh, is that true? I don't know.
Because you lose the 8-so Anko, and in the end it goes to Ryukyoku. Tucker did end up switching off of the 5 so 5-7 shape, but did hold the tempi, and we're not done yet.
Yeah, Tucker's got a quick hand here, and has a door as well.
Notably,
probably looking to call the Haku. Well,
sweet draw.
4-pin. Now you really want to Ricci. You might call Haku anyways. We'll see what Tucker decides to do if it does come out.
With Ryan paying 1,500, it's really close. That's already tempi. What? The Tucker's gonna chase and deal in.
And that's just getting the game right there. And Tucker's like, I had a good hand. What happened?
I guess Tucker's dealership netted 200 points.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely was looking for more. Ryan will be very happy with that final hand victory. Plus 33.5. Garth takes a very strong second place, plus 20.5. And I think that will put Garth in the lead when all things are said and done. Tucker, negative 14.3 third. And Daniel takes the fourth place in this game.
Well, yeah, that was a close battle there for first in the end. But Ryan, who did jump off to the early lead, did have enough to hold out in the end.
Yeah, after 3 games,
Garth's gonna be happy with getting another plus 20 here.
Right. Looking
off to a nice start
at the standings, after 3 games, Garth plus 67.7 jumps into first place overall, and Ryan, after that first place victory, plus 55.3 jumps into second. So, well done from these two players. With one more game to play, that'll be played at a later date. Definitely saw
hopefully Daniel can win some Ricci's in his final game.
I was so unfortunate. There were so many tempis that just didn't come together. And
the 4-way Ricci battle, of course it had to be Daniel the one to deal in the end.
Right. We did finally get our 4-way Ricci. We had a few chances at it.
Yeah.
And we got there in the end.
I'm glad we got to see one in the end.
And that will be the end for this broadcast. But we'll have many more to come, of course. Regular Wednesday broadcast every Wednesday evening, whether they're games or not. We'll be having one of those. And I have heard some rumors that there are a lot of people who are interested in having a bunch of other broadcasts throughout the week as they become available. Of course, it is a volunteer basis on which everyone participates in these casts. And I thank you, of course, Lucas, for joining me tonight.
Yeah, I think this was the first broadcast of the season, right?
Yeah, the first live games of the season. It was
glad I was able to kick off the season here. We had some fun games for sure.
Oh, I'm glad we got to start in B2. It is one of the wildest B2 divisions I've seen out of the history of the league. It's been almost 2 years now, and there are just some crazy strong players in the process of moving up through B2 to the higher divisions, and it is going to be a lot of fun to see how everything battles out. We saw some, Shosushi chants. We saw almost a Shosangen / Daisangen, and a ton of very interesting Ricci battles and clever maneuvers in order to maximize value and win rate. And Garth, big winner of the day in terms of this series.
Yeah, I think definitely the play that stood out to me was like the one hand that Garth had the Dama Pinfu, and instead of like dealing in on Dora, won like 12,000 points that hand. Like that one hand, I think netted probably, I don't know, it's like a placement, maybe even like a placement and 12,000 points. Like that one hand could be like a 25-point swing or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you add it all up. So it's definitely the one that stood out.
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing more from around the league. And if you want to see that, you can absolutely make sure to be following us on Twitch. Follow our Twitter /X as well. That will make sure that you know when we go live. Of course, if you'd like to see this cast and any of the previous casts, including the preseason hype stream we did on Monday, those are available on the YouTube channel. We got to preview the division pairings and also review the games from the previous summer session. Of course, we're in the fall now, and if you're looking forward to the winter season, there are signups available on our website, americanricci.org. I believe the deadline for registration is December 4th, and the new season, I think, starts at the end of the month heading into January. So make sure to get your registration in there and visit the website to check out all of the divisions and see what the standings look like across the league. That being said, cannot wait for the next broadcast. Thanks again, Lucas, for joining me, and looking forward to seeing you all in our next one. Have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, good night.